Driver has hit some bumps in the road lately, though, but his opponent, Yusei Kikuchi, has as well for Toronto. Kikuchi has first pitch coming up next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, streaming on the Sportsnet app, sportsnet.ca, and across the Sportsnet radio network.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart deferred payment program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
When Blue Jays starter Kevin Gausman is on the mound, you hear a lot of pops at Rogers Center. The pop of the ball hitting the catcher's mitt. The pop of the crowd as they cheer on another Gausman strikeout. But most importantly for Goss, the pop of his bubble gum.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the splitter again. One of the best at his craft.
Gausman loves his gum. So be one of the first 15,000 fans on Wednesday, July 3rd, and get your Kevin Gausman bubblegum bobblehead. Get your tickets at BlueJays.com.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Baseball fans, no matter who your team is, the Believe Podcast Network has you covered. Every team, every topic, everywhere. The most passionate fans and the most knowledgeable former players bring you the in-depth analysis you crave with podcasts dedicated to your team and your team only. Search Believe right now on the SiriusXM app and download your team's podcast today. That's BLEAV. Every team, everywhere.
You want baseball? The doggy has you covered. Tune in to Mad Dog Unleashed for the best baseball coverage anywhere. Weekdays 3 to 6 Eastern. SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Network.
What I remember about Stro, obviously what he did on the mound, and then kind of, personality that he does have, and the confidence that he does have. And in terms of approach, it's a stark contrast into what it is against a guy like Rodon last night. Marcus is really good at executing pitches and trying to get hitters to hit his pitch. Not to say he's not going to come right after you, but I think Rodon is going to come right after you, and Marcus is going to try to get you to get yourself out a little bit. And again, he's been really good at that over the course of his career. So I think you want to be patient. You want to be a little bit stubborn, not be afraid to hit with a strike or even two on you. And like any pitcher in the league, they all make mistakes, some more than others, and you got to be ready to hit balls that you can handle.
That was manager John Schneider talking about Marcus Strowman, the former Blue Jay and current Yankee, who will start against Toronto in Game 2 of this series. Welcome back to Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. And John Schneider said it, Chris, it's a very different opponent than the Blue Jays saw yesterday. What do you see in Marcus Strowman today?
Well, obviously Marcus Strowman has that really good sinker. Not very hard, 89 to 91 miles an hour. But it is nasty. It is moving all over the place. Loves to throw that thing front hip to lefties, back door to righties. And then he has, obviously, the cutter, the slider, the slurve, the split. And then he sometimes mixes in that four seam. But you have to be patient. He's walked 9 guys in his last 3 games. He does tend to walk. He does tend to fall behind guys. And like John Schneider said, you have to be patient with Marcus Strowman.
Blue Jays will try to take another one from the division leaders, kind of, in the New York Yankees. Let's take a look at the Bet365 standings. At Bet365, you can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and the money line. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. I say kind of the division winners because in terms of games back, the Yankees and Orioles are tied, but actually with the Yankees lost yesterday, they fall behind Baltimore in win percentage. Baltimore 51-30, New York 52-31 atop the division. The Boston Red Sox are in third. They're 43-37. Tampa Bay Rays 40-41 in fourth. And the Toronto Blue Jays 37-30 and 43 in fifth. The Blue Jays out onto the field in their night mode uniforms. Chris, who's in the lineup for Aaron Boone's Yankees?
Well, leading off for those Yankees and playing shortstop is Anthony Volpe. In right field batting second is Juan Soto. Aaron Judge will bat third and play center field. At first base in the cleanup spot is J.D. Davis. Gleyber Torres is playing second base and will bat fifth. In left field batting sixth is Alex Verdugo. At third base batting seventh is DJ LeMahieu. Behind the plate hitting eighth is Jose Trevino. And batting ninth is Jahmai Jones. He'll be DHing. On the mound is former Jay Marcus Strowman. And for the Jays, leading off and playing shortstop is Bo Bichette. Spencer Horwitz will bat second and play second base. At first base is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He'll bat third. DHing and hitting fourth will be Justin Turner. In right field batting fifth is George Springer. Dalton Varsho will bat sixth and play center field. Behind the plate is Danny Jansen. He'll bat seventh. Addison Barger will bat eighth and play left field. And batting ninth is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He'll play third base. On the mound for the Jays is Yusei Kikuchi.
33-year-old from Morioka, Japan, is about to make his 17th start of the year. A 4-7 record, an ERA of 4 exactly, 86 strikeouts and 20 walks in 83 and a third innings pitched. It's been a slide recently for Kikuchi, who in his last start only went 2+ innings. In the third inning, he was pulled after a rain delay in Cleveland, but he had already given up 8 hits and only recorded 6 outs, and his ERA has ballooned over the last 5-6 starts.
Yeah, in his last 2 starts, he's given up 15 hits, 9 earned runs. But the most alarming thing to me is only 1 walk in those two starts. So that means he's just throwing pitches very hittable over the heart of the plate, and they are just doing damage against his off-speed pitches, against his fastballs. He really needs to locate today.
Kikuchi about to face Anthony Volpe in the first inning, which is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. The Blue Jays in their dark night mode uniforms. Yankees in the road grays. Volpe in the righty batter's box. Kikuchi kicks and delivers, and the first pitch is swatted away foul. 0-1. Time of the first pitch today, 7:08 Eastern. The roof is closed at Rogers Center. It was open, but it's gotten pretty chilly. 21 degrees Celsius, but it feels colder than that here in downtown Toronto. Clouds overhead. The 0-1. Bounce to the plate.
And I can't recall Yusei ever doing this, but he's wearing different colored socks. One red and one white.
Might not be on purpose. Happens to the best of us.
I would hope it's on purpose.
1-1. Called strike at the knees, a good slider. It's 1-2. For Kikuchi, it's a 4-seam fastball, a curve, a slider, and a changeup. Lefty rocks back and releases. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That one in the dirt. Jansen steps inside the line, throws down to first, and it's the slider that gets Anthony Volpe to start Kikuchi's day.
Well, I guess those multicolored socks are working because he was nasty against Volpe right there. Got ahead quickly, and then he threw that slider down almost right behind home plate. Volpe swings over the top of it.
So 1 out and Juan Soto up. First left-on-left matchup of 2 for Kikuchi today. Infield shifts to the pull the pitch. Inside at 98.
Soto's staring out at Kikuchi like he meant to do that. Come on.
I think that's just Juan Soto.
That's just theater for Juan Soto?
He's doing a lot. The 1-0. Slider misses downstairs. 2-0. Soto batting an even 300, 12 doubles, 3 triples, and 19 homers this year. Kikuchi will ask for a new ball. Aaron Judge on deck. Kikuchi's 2-0. Foul tipped into the glove. Big swing by Soto, but he only gets a small piece of the slider. 2-1.
Well, I think Kikuchi got lucky right there. That slider was over the inside part of the plate, and Juan Soto just missed it.
Soto, the 2022 Home Run Derby champ. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Powers the fastball past him. Soto punching his left hip. It's 2-2. Over 36,000 yesterday, and another good crowd here today to start Game 2 against the Yankees. One out, top of the first, the 2-2. Foul tipped off of Danny Jansen. It rolls away toward the first base dugout. Kikuchi looking in. Looks down for a moment. He's set at the belt. Rocks and delivers. Check swing. Missed down and in. Threw the curveball that time. It's a full count. Unusually quiet day for Soto yesterday. 0 for 3 with a walk. Also struck out twice. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball hit softly to first. Fielded by Guerrero. He will race Soto to the bag himself. And he gets there in time. 2 down. We're here in the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. 2 outs, no score, nobody on top of the first. And 6'7" center fielder Aaron Judge steps in. One tap of the plate, and Judge points the bat up toward the roof. Kikuchi's pitch. Swinging a broken bat grounder, foul, third base side, 0-1. Judge checking the bat. He'll take a walk, though. Home plate umpire Clint Vondrak is going to dust off the plate. It's crew chief DJ Rayburn umping first, Tom Hanahan at second, Jeremy Rehak at third. Judge applying a little bit of grip to the middle of that bat, now takes the walk back to home plate. If it was quiet for Soto yesterday, it was silent for Judge. 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Leads the Yankees with a .304 batting average. Leads Major League Baseball with 30 homers, but he cuts and misses at a slider, and Kikuchi's ahead of him, 0-2.
That was nasty right there. The first pitch up at the hands at about 97. That was a good slider below the strike zone.
Rogers center getting loud. Kikuchi's 2-strike pitch. Bounce to the plate. Threw the changeup for, I believe, the first time today, but skipped that one in front of home plate. Judge laid off without a thought. Now the 1-2. Bounced it to the plate again. Threw the slider this time, but once again, Judge didn't budge.
Yeah, both those pitches, though, started out of the strike zone. So Judge, such a good eye, such a good hitter. He's not going to offer at those pitches. 60 walks this year for Aaron Judge. Would lead most teams unless you have Juan Soto as well. 2-2. A little bit down and away, a better changeup, but again, Judge was wise to it. He takes, it's a full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Kikuchi kicks and deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 97 in on the hands. He gets Judge to end a 1-2-3 first. Bo Bichette will lead off for the Blue Jays in a scoreless game. Bottom of the first coming up next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between pizza and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Marcus Strowman shrugging his shoulders behind the mound. The former Blue Jay walks to the top of the hill, says some words to himself, and gets ready to go in the bottom of the first at Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. No score, Blue Jays and Yankees. Strowman's first pitch. Bo Bichette will take it. Called strike 1. 17th start this season for the righty Strowman. 7-3 record, 3.15 earned run average. 0-1. Outside. Righty from Medford, New York on Long Island. Stands 5'7", 33 years old in his 10th major league season. The 1-1. Outside again. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, I love watching Marcus Strowman pitch, not because of the showmanship, but more because he knows how to pitch. He's so fun to watch, kind of navigate lineups. Doesn't really have overpowering stuff, but a ton of movement.
2-1. Bichette swings and fouls back a fastball. 2-2. There was the four-seamer from Strowman at 89 miles an hour. His sinker is going to be his most used pitch, like Chris mentioned off the top of the broadcast. He will throw the cutter and slider a lot as well. Has a big slurve and a splitter he uses to lefties. 2-2. Check swing just outside that time with the slurve or the slider. Well, pardon me, that one was the slider. It's full count. Quick into the 3-2, and Strowman misses down and away, a full count. And that's something he'll do too. He'll vary up the speed, not just when there are guys on base, but he'll have hesitations. He'll go quickly. Blue Jays fans saw that a lot in his 6 years in Toronto.
Yeah, that last pitch right there wasn't really close, though.
No, maybe not to his benefit, mixing up the speed there.
No, he snatched the baseball out of the air from Trevino.
First pitch to Spencer Horwitz, low ball 1. And this is an interesting thing when you look at Strowman's year, which has been a good one by the basic numbers. His walks, though, are up. His strikeouts are down, and he's given up more homers than last year. 1-0 pitch is hit well, left field. Racing back, Verdugo stops in front of the track and makes the catch. 1 out.
And when you specifically look at the strikeout rate and the walk rate, if you have a high walk rate and low strikeout rate, that generally is not a good thing. I feel like Strowman maybe has gotten a little bit lucky this season. But every time I've seen him throw, he's looked great. So
he has pitched very well against the Blue Jays. Here's his first pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It's a fastball for strike 1. Vlad with a bloop RBI double and then a home run yesterday, 2 for 5. Hitting .289 on the year, 16 doubles, 11 homers. Bichette leads off first, throw back to first, and he dives back in safe. That was a big lead for Bo Bichette.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Bo is thinking about swiping second base here. It's a good time to go.
Well, a couple starts ago for Strowman, he faced the Red Sox. They stole 9 times on him and Trevino. 6 on him in the game, but 9 total. Vlad swings and pops it up foul, first base side. J.D. Davis running toward the dugout. It's how to play foul. 0-2. So they stole 9 times in the game, did the Red Sox. 6 of those came when Strowman was on the mound. It's a lot more about Trevino, it seems, than Strowman, but clearly the Red Sox found something they liked, running a ton on Strowman. Bo Bichette this year has 4 stolen bases. He's been caught once. 1 out, no score, bottom of the first. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. facing an 0-2 count. Turn and throw over to first again. Bichette dives in, this time without a tag from J.D. Davis. That was the second look at this plate appearance, so Bo maybe can get a little bit more aggressive. 3.5 step lead, and Bichette getting closer and closer to second. Takes off on the 0-2. Swing and a fly ball, shallow left field. Bo will retreat to first. LeMahieu called off by Volpe, the shortstop, who catches it right near the left field line for the second out. So Bo was going, but he had to stop midway.
Yeah, and Bo had that bag stolen, but that pitch was almost right down the middle, so Vlad had to swing at it. Unfortunately, he pops it up.
Bit of a hung slurve that Guerrero just got under. So now the Blue Jays' first-round pick in 2012 out of Duke, Marcus Strowman, will face Justin Turner with 2 outs and a runner on first. Right on right, the pitch. Swing and a bouncer right side through the 3-4 hole into right field. Bichette went hard around second, but decides to stick there. It's a base hit for Turner, and 2 on for the Blue Jays with 2 outs.
Well, there was a gigantic hole on the right side of that infield. J.D. Davis was holding on Bo at first base, and Gleyber Torres was almost right behind second base. Justin Turner, such a smart hitter, takes that fastball on the outside part of the plate and just hits a little dribbler into right field.
And that sets up the man of the hour, George Springer. 3 home runs in his last 2 games. Comes up here with runners on first and second, no score, and 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Strowman from the first base side of the rubber, kicks and releases. Check swing, pitch was outside, 1-0. Springer 6 for 8 overall in the last 2 games with the 3 homers and 8 RBIs. 1-0. Called a strike, and that is a gift of a call. That pitch was both low and outside, but it's 1-1.
Well, as hard as it is to hit that sinker that moves all over the plates, it's pretty hard to ump those types of pitchers as well.
1-1. Certainly down and away, called a ball, 2-1.
But you were correct, though. That was not a strike.
That wasn't all that
That was
close.
both outside and low.
Yeah. Bichette on second. Turner leading off first, staring at Bo. The 2-1. Check swing. And again called a strike on a pitch that's really just not that close. I mean, there have been 4 pitches, and none of the 4 have been that close, yet it's 2-2.
And immediately, George Springer turned away, walked outside of that box, and was almost screaming.
2-2 pitch, fought off foul. Springer has to swing at that pitch that was off the plate outside because that's closer than 2 of the strikes that have been called. But he hits it into the seats to stay alive. John Schneider's at the top step. I'm almost sure that after this inning's done, he's going to go talk to Clint Vondrak. 2-2. Down and away, and that one is called ball 3, but you got to hold your breath right now. It's a full count with 2 outs, so Bichette and Turner will get a head start on the pitch. Strowman looks at second at Bo. Now comes set, glove just above his belt. The 3-2. Swing and a foul off. It should be noted, too, that Jose Trevino is one of the top pitch framers in all of baseball.
Sure.
I wouldn't have called those strikes either, but it at least should be noted. Strowman set again. Bichette and Turner leave from second and first, and Springer hits the ball on the ground through the whole left field, a base hit. Bichette around third. He scores standing up, and the Blue Jays are up 1-0 thanks to George Springer.
And George Springer comes through yet again, fights off a couple tough pitches, and then gets that fastball on the inner third, and he just drills a little ground ball through the left side. He is seeing the ball so well right now.
7th hit in his last 9 at-bats, 9 RBIs in his last 9 at-bats, and he was fired up looking back to the dugout. He helps the Blue Jays to another first-inning lead. Toronto went up 5-0 in the first yesterday, up 1-0 here. First and second still, 2 outs. Dalton Varsho takes the first pitch. Called strike 1. We're here in the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is Chris LaRue. The 0-1. Uncomfortable swing and a miss from Varsho, who only went about 60% of the way around. It's 0-2. Varsho hitting .203 this year. 14 doubles, 11 homers. Swings at the 0-2 and bounces it back behind him, foul. Clint Vondrak dusting off home plate. Varsho taking a second to get back into the box. Now he steps in, and the left-handed hitter taps the plate. And now time will be called behind home plate. Varsho brought his right foot out of the box, but brings it back in and looks out at Strowman. 2 on, 2 out, 1-0 Blue Jays, and the 0-2. Fouled off again. This is the second time that Marcus Strowman has started in this building this year, and the first time on April 17th. Varsho homered off him twice in that game. 0-2. Swing and another ball bounced foul. That time it was the slider breaking in off the plate that Varsho got his hands inside to spoil off.
Yeah, Varsho's doing a good job fouling some tough pitches off right now. The more pitches you foul off, the greater chance that you're going to get a mistake.
He's fouled off the last 3. 0-2 again. That one's high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You could tell Trevino was trying to steal that strike. That pitch right there was clearly a ball, but Trevino really moving his glove. I don't love when catchers move their gloves that much.
1-2. Bounce foul off to the right. Do you think when you try to sell a pitch like that, it makes it harder for you to sell other pitches because the umpire kind of sees, oh, you're really,
oh yeah,
you're
clearly
really changing it.
When you make it that obvious, not only can we see it, the umpire can see it as well. And if you're moving your glove that much, it's probably not a strike.
1-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Bounced the curveball and Varsho reached for it. He goes down to end the inning, but the Blue Jays take the lead. They score 1 on 2 hits. George Springer with an RBI single. It's 1-0 Blue Jays after an inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The beats that move the culture. SiriusXM celebrates Black Music Month with Black Music Forever, a limited edition channel with hip-hop, R&B hits, and breaking music from Black artists. Black Music Forever, throughout the month in the SiriusXM app. SiriusXM.com/BMM for more info.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game. Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues. Right now on Channel 87.
Aaron Judge drills a 3-run home run.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to helping you prepare for your fantasy football drafts, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. Top of the second inning in Toronto. It's 1-0 Blue Jays over Yankees. Yusei Kikuchi with a first pitch fastball. Strike 1, he gets ahead of J.D. Davis. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host and producer today. Luke Swadron and Tom Young, our technical directors. The 0-1. Downstairs. Called a ball, 1 ball, and 1 strike. Third game as a New York Yankee for J.D. Davis, acquired from the Oakland Athletics on Sunday. 1-1. Hit in the air, slicing down the right field line and into the stands. 1-2. Oakland sent Davis and Cash over to the Yankees for former Blue Jays first-round pick Jordan Groshans. The 1-2. Bounce the slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Davis was having somewhat of a rough season in Oakland. 236, 4 homers, 5 RBIs.
It's been an odd year overall for Davis, who looked like he was going to start the year with the San Francisco Giants. 2-2. Swing and a foul back. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Was with the Giants pretty much until the 11th hour right before spring training. And then they agree to terms with Matt Chapman. And he ends up being let go even after he'd won his arbitration case. 2-2 pitch in the dirt, 3-2. Ended up only being paid a sixth of that, near $7 million that he had won in arbitration from the Giants. Signed on with the A's. Strained his groin in mid-April, went on the injured list, came back and lasted about a month more before he was traded to the Yankees. Open stance for the right-handed hitter. 3-2. Frozen with a backdoor slider. Strike 3. Third strikeout already for Yusei Kikuchi.
Well, I don't know what J.D. Davis was thinking right there, but that slider right there was a very hittable pitch. Maybe Frozen thought something hard on the inner part of the plate, but that was a hittable pitch right there for J.D. Davis.
Davis goes down, and here's Gleyber Torres, who takes the first pitch, a curveball over the middle. Strike 1. Gleyber Torres had a couple days off, back in the lineup now. A .215 hitter this year, 7 homers. Wide open stance for the second baseman. 0-1. Swing and a miss, way behind 97. 0-2. Torres will ask for time, step out of the box. A lot of talk around the Yankees recently centering on Torres, who was taken out of the lineup for a couple days after struggling. Aaron Boone had mentioned a mental reset for Torres. 0-2. Bouncing ball hits softly to first, fielded by Guerrero. Flips back to Kikuchi, who stumbles but steps on the bag for the out. Momentum carried him all the way into shallow right. 2 down. Guerrero with a bit of a chuckle. I think it was a slightly low flip, and Kikuchi sprinting over there. Had to take a while to get himself gathered.
Yeah, it looked like he lunged for the bag and then stumbled and went all the way into right field. As long as you get the out, that's all that matters. Vlad with a little chuckle. It wasn't a terrible throw.
No, it wasn't. It's kind of amazing Kikuchi didn't fall down. He was leaning all the way over. Guerrero said, "My bad," though, tapped his chest, patted Kikuchi on the back. And now Vladdy getting the cleats tied up as Kikuchi gets a new baseball. 2 down. Alex Verdugo up to the plate. The only left-on-left matchup other than Juan Soto that Kikuchi should see today in this Yankees lineup. 1-0 Blue Jays. Nobody on. And the first pitch. Called strike 1. This second inning is presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus. Play responsibly. Ontario only. The kick and the 0-1. Outside. By the way, Chris, the split the pot Jace Care raffle still going on. Almost at $1.1 million as we speak. BlueJays.com/5050 from Ontario or Nova Scotia. 1-1 pitch, cut on and missed. 1-2.
Boy, I thought yesterday was the last day.
I think I made a mistake. That pot, though, will be evenly split for 10 winners. So if you want to get in on that action, also some early bird prizes still up for grabs. BlueJays.com/5050. 1-2 to Verdugo. Outside.
And that 50-50 is now at $1.096 million. So you might want to get in on that. And I'm talking to you, Ben.
We've talked about this. I don't know how that would look.
You're not a gambler.
I'm not a gambler.
Yeah, there you go.
Definitely not a successful one, at least. Kikuchi peeks down at the mound, now looks toward the plate. Jansen setting up away. 2-2. Bounced foul down the right field line. Alex Verdugo banks his barrel off the inside of the left foot. Left fielder's hitting .245 this year. 15 doubles, 9 homers. Cleanup batter yesterday, but going left on left with Kikuchi, slides down to number 6 in the Yankee order. 2-2 once more. Chopped to second on 2 hops, picked by Horwitz. He stops, throws over to first, beats Verdugo to end the inning. 6 up, 6 down for Yusei Kikuchi. 1-0 Blue Jays, middle of the second. Stick around. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart deferred payment program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
Our core values: equality, respect, the pursuit of greatness. Through and through, this is who we are.
Be at the ballpark to experience a proud tradition. Canada Day, Monday, July 1st. The first 15,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays Canadian tuxedo hat giveaway. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Proud to the core. Canadian to the core. Blue Jays to the core.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
A game-tying blast from Bo Bichette.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the second inning in downtown Toronto. Danny Jansen, Addison Barger, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to hit for the Blue Jays against the Yankees. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Jansen in the righty box. Marcus Strowman on the rubber. He winds and delivers. Called strike one. Jansen knows plenty about Strowman when he debuted with the Blue Jays in 2018. Strowman was a part of the Blue Jays rotation. Here's the 0-1. Outside. For Jansen, it's been an up and down year. This is 49th game, hitting .231. Check swing liner off the backstop on the 1-1, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's go along with that .231 average. 13 doubles, 5 homers for the Blue Jays catcher. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strowman slowed it down to 72 with the curveball. He gets Jansen out in front for strike 3.
Yeah, that was kind of an awkward swing from Danny Jansen. It looked like Danny Jansen was expecting something a lot harder than that. Just flips in that slow curveball. And like I said, he's such a good pitcher. You really never know what he's throwing, the location, the pitch type, all those things.
Addison Barger faces Marcus Strowman for the first time in his career and takes strike 1 at the knees. 15th Major League game for Barger, 0-1. Left-handed hitter pounds it into the ground, foul, off toward the first base dugout, 0-2.
I was looking forward to this matchup. I want to see if Addison Barger changes his approach because of how Marcus Strowman pitches. I want to see that, actually.
0-2 is hit off the fist, so looper headed to shallow center, caught by the shortstop Volpe, and there are 2 outs. Well, here comes a guy with a pretty steady approach, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Iced up after the 3 hit-by pitches yesterday. And in the box for the Blue Jays, batting with 2 outs and the bases empty. 1-0 Toronto. Strowman's offering. Called strike.
I wonder if he woke up this morning and felt any different after getting hit 3 times. Twice in the foot, once in that elbow guard. Probably didn't feel that bad.
0-1. Down and away, 1-1. I asked him, he said it wasn't too bad. A little bit of bruising, but it was 2 breaking balls at least in the foot. The other one got him in some protection. 1-1. Fouled back 1-2. And, it's his former teammate, Rodon, who hit him twice. So I said, hey, Carlos, get you a bottle of wine or something. He said, I should get him a bottle of wine. He hit me twice with 2 strikes on me. 1-2 pitch is chopped to third. LeMahieu charging. Fields throws over to first and beats IKF by half a step to end the inning. A 1-2-3, bottom of the second for Strowman. 1-0 Blue Jays going to the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
That ball is gone. Third home run in 4 batters for the Blue Jays.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
DJ LeMahieu strides into the righty batter's box as we're about to start the third inning in Toronto. 1-0 Blue Jays over Yankees. Yusei Kikuchi on the mound. And the left-hander gets set. Here's his pitch. Called strike 1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Kikuchi's gone 6 up, 6 down to start the game with 3 strikeouts. He rocks and delivers. Big wave and a miss by LeMahieu at 97 at the letters. 0-2. DJ LeMahieu in his 24th game of the year, batting 178, no extra base hits. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Went around on 98 above the zone, and it's Kikuchi's 4th strikeout.
I was talking to some Yankees guys before the game, and they just said that DJ LeMahieu, his bat just looks slow. He looks lethargic. And I think that might be because he's only been off that 60-day DL for about a month now. He might hit his stride at some point this season, but he's no spring chicken.
Activated on the 28th after a right foot contusion, a 2-time batting title winner, has won in both leagues. Here's Jose Trevino. The catcher fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. 1 out, 1-0 Blue Jays. Base is empty. Spencer Horwitz, the second baseman, playing up the middle. Shortstop Bichette deep in the 5-6 hole. The 0-1. Called strike 2. This third inning brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Midland and Sturgeon Falls. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com. Canada's #1 rust protection. 0-2. Line to left field. Moving in, Barger. He makes a chest-high catch, and there are 2 outs.
He made that catch pretty easily. He was taking some fly balls earlier during batting practice today. They were giving him all kinds of spins, top spin, back spin, off the wall, going back over the shoulder, and I don't know, he looked pretty good right there.
Still a new position for Addison Barger, left field. More of a third baseman, right fielder in the minors. 2 down. Creeping in at third IKF as Jahmai Jones takes a first pitch low, 1-0. Jones, a right-handed hitter, the DH today for the Yankees, batting 9th. 1-0 pitch. High, 2 balls, no strikes. For Jones, it's his 26th game of the season, although he only has 26 at-bats this season. Often enters as a sub. Next pitch is a little bit low, 3-0.
And we see Yusei do this quite often where he gets 2 quick outs and then he'll fall behind that third hitter 2-0, 3-0, and then he has to fight back to get a couple strikes.
3-0 pitch is a fastball over the heart of the plate to make it 3-1.
If I were him, if I were Pete Walker, I would be so frustrated.
And you're going against Jones, who's 5 for 26 this year, a 192 hitter. Kikuchi kicks, delivers, and Jones swings and misses at a slider on the outside edge. Full count.
And just like that, it's a 3-2 count. Why do you have to throw 3 balls before you get those 2 strikes? That's what I would be asking myself if I was Yusei Kikuchi or if I was Pete Walker.
Jahmai Jones will ask for time. Kikuchi standing just behind the rubber. Left-hander steps on. Jones back in the box. Kikuchi is set. And the 3-2. Check swing. Appeal down to first. He went around on the high fastball. Strike 3. 9 up, 9 down, 5 punch-outs for Kikuchi. 1-0 Blue Jays, middle of the third. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
FSGA Draft Week on Fantasy Sports Radio.
Touchdown, Travis Kelce!
The brightest minds in the fantasy industry are drafting against each other in specialized fantasy football drafts. The Champions League Fantasy Football Draft, the Futures and Prop Bets Draft, the Fantasy Football National League Draft, the one-of-its-kind in-game betting draft, the Best Ball Fantasy Football Draft. Hear winning strategies and unique drafts you won't hear anywhere else. Just search Fantasy Drafts on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
In a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on Sirius XM Channel 89 and every morning on the Sirius XM app.
The Busted Open podcast is now available on YouTube. This is Dave LaGreca, host of Busted Open, the #1 pro wrestling show on the planet. You can now watch and listen to the award-winning Busted Open podcast every single day on YouTube. Our best interviews, behind-the-scenes access, and some of our best content from the past. All available right now when you go to youtube.com/@BustedOpenPodcast. Subscribe right now.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on Sirius XM.
Radio Network.
Top of the order for Toronto, bottom of the third inning. Bo Bichette hitting for the Blue Jays, 1-0. Welcome back to Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Marcus Stroman's first pitch misses down and away, 1-0. Bichette walked to start this game, scored the lone run in the game that has the Blue Jays up 1-0. Takes the 1-0, called strike. Bo had a hit and the first run for the Blue Jays yesterday as the leadoff hitter. He swings and drives the ball to right field, but the liner hangs up. Fighting off the lights, Juan Soto makes the catch. He turned his head away at the last second. 1 down.
Yeah, it looked like he lost it right at the last second. That was probably pretty scary for him, whether it was in the light or there were some people that were wearing some white shirts, but that was scary.
Ball hit 99 miles an hour at Soto. He makes the play, though. And here's the pitch to Spencer Horwitz. It's down and in. Ball 1. Strowman kicks, fires, and Horwitz with a late swing. Foul tips it into the glove of Trevino, 1-1. Horwitz entered this game batting .348 with 11 walks in 16 games. Swings at the 1-1, lines it to left field, and it bounces down for a base hit. Picked up near the line by Alex Verdugo. Horwitz with his first hit of the day.
Well, like he does so often, he just finds a way to get on base, whether it's by the walk or base hit. He got sawed off on that cutter right there, but just drops it over DJ LeMahieu at third base.
Horwitz only hit that ball about 65 miles an hour off the bat, but he hit it where the defense wasn't. He's on with one out, and he gives a good shot here to drive in a run for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Strowman looks back at second. There's no one on base there. And the pitch. Vlad takes downstairs, 1-0. Extra base hits galore recently for Vlad. It's allowed him to take over the team lead in doubles at 16, tied for the team lead in homers at 11. 1-0 pitch. Called high, looked pretty good, 2-0. And has sole possession of the team lead in RBIs at 42 as well. Horwitz taking 3 steps off first, held on by Davis. Strowman's 2-0. Guerrero swings, hits a fly ball, center field. Judge moving to left center, camped under it, makes the catch, 2 outs.
Well, I think he got that off the end of the bat. If he got that on the barrel, that would have been up at that WestJet flight deck for sure.
That was a missed spot from Strowman. That was bottom middle of the zone on the sinker. And Guerrero almost slammed down the bat, I think in frustration that he didn't do more with that pitch. 2 outs now, Justin Turner up. He's 1 for 1. First pitch to Turner, low and outside. Turner singled on a bouncing ball to right field in the first. That was with just 1 on and 2 outs. Helped the Blue Jays knock in a run as the guy behind him, George Springer, singled in Bichette later in the first. Pitch clock violation is going to be called against Marcus Strowman, I believe. Although they pointed at Turner, but then they said 2-0. So it's going to go against Strowman. And now a big advantage in the count for Justin Turner. 2 balls and no strikes. Strowman rocks, releases, and hits the bottom of the zone.
And there's another big hole. Just like Justin Turner's last at-bat, J.D. Davis is again holding on first base, and then Gleyber Torres is playing up the middle.
The 2-1. Down and away, might have hit the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. When it comes to home improvements, Timbermart has the expert advice and the right products at the right price, so you won't find yourself out in left field on your next DIY project. Game on home team, Timbermart's Canada's Building Center. 3-1. Turner takes outside, ball 4. He extends another inning getting on with 2 outs. And here comes George Springer, who drove in a run on a single in the first. Jose Trevino out in front of the plate, punching something into the pitch comm, presumably giving some signals to the defense in case of a double steal, although it's Horwitz on second, Turner on first. Not huge base running threats, at least in terms of stealing. Here's the first pitch to George Springer. Takes in the dirt, 1-0. When Springer drove in 6 yesterday, it was a new career high for the right fielder. Had driven in 5 several times, once as a Blue Jay, but this is the first time that he drove in 6. 1-0. Checked his swing, pitch bounced again, 2-0.
He is just a different guy. Early on in the season, when he was struggling mightily, he would be jumpy. He would be swinging some of those half swings that he would tend to take. But now he's just locked in, taking tough pitches away off the strike zone.
2-0, bounced foul. That one was off the plate. However, that location was twice called a strike against him last time, so he swings at it. It's 2-1. Horwitz on second, Turner on first. Infield a little to the pull, but pretty straight up against the right-handed hitter. Strowman's 2-1. Swing and a bouncing ball hit at the third baseman LeMahieu. Throws over to second to Torres, and that will do it for the inning. A hit and a walk for the Blue Jays, but 2 left on. Still 1-0 Toronto after 3. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We're back on the track Sunday,
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Ally 400 from Nashville Superspeedway.
Checker flag, baby. Yeah.
On Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app. Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the Sirius XM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ozzie Smith, and my road to Cooperstown was paved in yellow gold.
This is John Paul Morosi. Coming up on the next episode of the new SiriusXM podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith.
When you're a small guy, you got to prove your worth over and over again because you're always hearing that negative, even after you're accomplished.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on Sirius XM. We're back on the track Sunday,
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Ally 400 from Nashville Superspeedway.
Checker flag, baby. Yeah.
On Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app. Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the Sirius XM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yeah.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Radio Network.
The fourth inning is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of the order for the Yankees. Anthony Volpe faces a pitch from Yusei Kikuchi and is way behind it. A swing and a miss to make it 0-1. Kikuchi really strong through the first 3 innings, went 9 up, 9 down, struck out 5. He's looking for a bounce-back start today. The 0-1 inside. We alluded to it off the top, but Kikuchi only once in his first 10 starts this year gave up 4 or more earned runs. He's done it 4 times in his last 6 starts and has compiled an ERA above 7 in those 6 starts. 1-1. Called strike at the knees. Good slider. He's used the slider a lot today. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, he has a good feel for it. And you mentioned all the runs that he's given up over the last 4 games. I talked about it earlier, but it's not about his lack of control. It's just he's throwing too many good pitches, and they're getting hit too hard, and tonight he's been a lot better.
The 1-2. Fouled back behind home plate, 97 near the top of the zone. If you're looking for a bounce back, typically this is a team that Kikuchi wants to see. 14 games, 12 starts in his career against the Yankees. An earned run average just above 3. 3-2 pitch, or pardon me, the 1-2, cut on and missed. Strike 3, bounced in the curveball, and Volpe waves over it. 6 strikeouts already for Kikuchi, 1 down in the 4th.
Well, that was almost identical to the off-speed pitch that he got Volpe on in the first inning. That was a good a curveball right behind home plate. Again, Volpe way out in front.
So 1 out, and here's Juan Soto. Left on left, the pitch. Called strike 1. We're here in the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali's our host and producer. Luke Swadron and Tom Young, our technical directors. The kick and the 0-1. Fastball, called a ball. Doesn't get much better than that. Looked like 96 right on the outside edge.
Well, I think the only reason why that wasn't called a strike is because Yusei Kikuchi didn't hit his spot, and Danny Jansen had to move his glove quite a bit. The 1-1.
Pretty similar spot again, called a ball. 2-1. That's what I call a challenge system strikeout. If the challenge system is in next year, Juan Soto's in the dugout. 2-1. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Three-1 pitch. Low ball 4. That's the first Yankees base runner today as Soto is aboard with a walk.
3 really close pitches in that at bat to Juan Soto.
For Soto, that's now 72 games he's been on base out of the 81 he's played in. And his team leading 69th walk of the year. 1 out. Kikuchi peeking at Soto, pitches to Aaron Judge. First pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Kikuchi struck out Judge on a fastball in the first inning. He struck him out 12 times in 24 at-bats against Judge in his career. The righty slugger is 4 for 24 career against Yusei Kikuchi. The 1-0. Down and in, 2 balls, no strikes. Judge steps out for a moment. 6'7" center fielder back in the box. Pretty straight up in his stance. Knees just bent a little bit. The 2-0. Called strike, a fastball at the knees.
That was nasty. They're trying to pound him in. You can tell in his first at-bat, 2 fastballs inside and 2 fastballs during this at-bat on the inside part of the plate. That one right there for a strike.
Slim lead for Soto at first, talking with Guerrero. Kikuchi's going to step off. Soto literally just turned and took 1 step back to the bag. Kikuchi didn't throw over. Southpaw back on the mound, first base side. 2 looks at first, the 2-1. Just misses down and in with a slider, and he's behind Judge. 3 balls and 1 strike.
And now you really have a decision to make. You're behind 3-1. There's 1 out. You have J.D. Davis and Gleyber Torres coming up next. Do you want to throw something over the heart of the plate that he can hit, or do you want to be selective?
3-1 pitch saws him off. A grounder through the hole on the right side into right field. That'll be a single for Judge, the first hit of the day for the Yankees. He exploded that bat. The barrel flew back into the netting near the third base dugout. But Judge just got enough of it to get a single and push Soto up to second with 1 out.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. A fastball on the inside part just absolutely exploded Judge's bat. I think that's where his hole is. He loves to get the arms extended. He's a big guy. If you can consistently throw that fastball inside, he's probably not going to do much. That's really all he can do with that pitch right there.
Brief stoppage in play. Danny Jansen in front of the plate giving some signs. In a moment, we'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since Toronto first raised the trophy in '92. Join them for wings, ribs, beer, cocktails, and catch every play at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. Download the app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. Always devilishly good. 2 on, 1 out, and the pitch. J.D. Davis swings and misses at 98. 0-1. The NHL draft is underway, and predictably, the first overall pick, North Vancouver's Macklin Celebrini out of Boston University, goes to the San Jose Sharks. 0-1. High 1-1. I believe on the clock right now, Chris, are your Montreal Canadiens picking at 5.
Well, I have no idea who they're going to pick.
They also have a pick at 26 as well. Toronto Maple Leafs pick at 23. Ottawa Senators at 7. Calgary Flames at 9. 1-1. Bouncing ball up the middle. Horwitz gloves, runs toward Judge. He'll throw to second. They have Judge in a rundown. Soto moving off third to the plate. Guerrero turns, throws to the plate. And Soto slides in safe. Horwitz was running Judge back, who started backpedaling in between first and second, decided to take the sure out, throwing to first. And then when Guerrero started to chase Judge down, he turned and threw the plate as Soto broke from third. The throw was a little bit to the first base side. Jansen lunged back to the third base side. And the Blue Jays will not challenge a smart base running move by Aaron Judge. And that's going to be a 1-1 game.
Well, that was such a smart play from Spencer Horwitz, throwing the baseball to Vlad. Like I've said so many times, he plays the game like he's been around for so long, although he is technically a rookie.
First pitch to Gleyber Torres, hit foul, 0-1. Horwitz now playing behind Judge at second. Blue Jays maybe have a chance at two there. Horwitz turns and throws to second right away rather than going for the tag, but it wasn't hit all that strong. Next pitch is high to Torres. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, it also wasn't a great throw from Vlad. If Vlad makes a good throw there, he's out at home plate pretty easily. Just a little bit up the first baseline, took Danny Jansen to his right.
A peek back at second. 2 down, runner on second is Aaron Judge, and Kikuchi's going to step off. Tough for Kikuchi. Didn't allow a base runner until there was 1 out in this inning. Got squeezed a little bit on a walk to Soto. Then a broken bat grounder single for Judge, and probably a double play ball ends up turning into the first Yankee run. Kikuchi steps off for the second time. Now he'll get back on the rubber. Torres is 0 for 1 today, grounded out to the first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Left on right the pitch. Foul back into the screen, 1-2. Kikuchi in the set at the belt. A look at Judge at second. In this 1-1 game, he peaks one more time and unleashes a 1-2. Down and in. By the way, on that St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard, the Montreal Canadiens took Ivan Demidov, a Russian right winger, and then the Utah Hockey Club picked next in their first ever draft pick. They took Tij Iginla, the son of Jerome Iginla.
Is that their official name? The Utah
For at
Hockey
least
Club?
right now.
Okay.
2-2. Swing and a fly ball, shallow right. Springer walks in, walks to his left, and makes the catch to end the inning. A run for the Yankees on 1 hit. Aaron Judge with the base hit and a smart base running play helps New York tie this one up. Middle of the 4th, you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza Pizza's big hitter, Fixed Rate Pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Fastball painted at the bottom of the zone, and that's back-to-back strikeouts.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Home half of the fourth inning at Rogers Center. 1-1 game now, Blue Jays and Yankees. Dalton Varsho leading off for Toronto. First pitch. Called strike one. No, never mind. Called a ball, pardon me. Near miss outside by Marcus Strowman, 1-0. Strowman into the wind and is 1-0. That one in there for sure to even up the count. It's a strike to make it 1-1. Dalton Varsho in his second game returning from injury. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a flare out to shallow center. Volpe, the shortstop under it, squeezes it for the first out. We're here in the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Danny Jansen now batting for the Blue Jays with one out and the bases empty. This one tied at 1-1 on an aggressive base running play by Juan Soto, a smart play by Aaron Judge in the top of the fourth. And the first pitch to Jansen hits the zone, 0-1. Jansen 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The pitch. Starts the hands, but stops him as the pitch misses down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Do you enjoy doing games more with the roof open or the roof closed?
Open.
Yeah.
I mean, it is cold today, so I understand. 1-1. Foul tipped into the glove, 1-2. How about you?
Open for sure. I was just thinking how the atmosphere just changes in here.
I mean, you get the CN Tower over to the right. Had some beautiful nights recently. 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Strowman quickly back on the rubber. Hesitation, 2-2. Jansen fouls it off to the right. It is a packed house today, though. Loud crowd so far, although there hasn't been a ton of offense. A run on 3 hits for the Blue Jays, a run on 1 hit for the Yankees.
Do you think the fans are here to see the New York Yankees or George Springer?
2-2. Downstairs 3-2. I'll say see Shaggy, because Shaggy threw out the first pitch to them.
I thought he was from Canada. He is, in fact, not from Canada.
Nope, he's from Kingston, Jamaica. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Jansen slams the barrel into the ground. He goes down for the second out of the inning. Do you have a favorite Shaggy song?
I remember, and this could all just be rumor, but I remember in high school he filmed a music video in a big mansion on Mississauga Road, and I forget what that song was called.
First pitch to Addison Barger misses outside, 1-0.
And I think that's why I just assumed he was from Canada. Why is he filming something on Mississauga Road is my question.
That's a good question. Next pitch, hit by Barger on a hop to first, fielded by J.D. Davis. He goes to the bag and ends the inning. We'll never know. That's the fourth, the 1-2-3. It's 1-1. Blue Jays and Yankees. Fifth inning next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The top soccer stars from across Europe clash in UEFA Euro 2024. Hear the action on Sirius XM from Icons.
Ronaldo, unbelievable goal!
To international powerhouses.
4-1 Germany. This is a statement.
The best of the best battle for the chance to be called champions of Europe. UEFA Euro 2024. Hear live matches and expert analysis in the car on Fox Sports Channel 83 and Sirius XM FC 157, or listen on the all-new Sirius XM app.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball. You love yelling at your buddies about baseball because they love baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, and much, much, much more. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
If you love golf, then you should never turn off SiriusXM PGA Tour Radio. Our hosts have the best takes.
Tiger's impact on the game of golf, aside from how good he was at it, was something that I don't think we'll ever see again.
Talk to the biggest guests.
Scotty, you've had a year to celebrate.
This year, I've just seen a lot of good results.
And can even help you with your own game.
Take the club and at address, open it up.
It's all golf, all the time. On SiriusXM PGA Tour Radio, Channel 92 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Your home for free agency is NBA Radio. We're breaking down all the transactions all week long on Channel 86 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
It's the fifth inning, brought to you by Desjardins Financial Group. Desjardins awarded another 150 grants worth $20,000 each to entrepreneurs across Canada. See how Desjardins cheered on small biz at goodsparkgrants.ca. Tie ball game 2 of this series, Blue Jays and Yankees. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Yusei Kikuchi deals to Alex Verdugo. Fastball called inside. Kikuchi with his hands in the air. Didn't think that one missed. It's 1-0. Verdugo grounded out to second in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Next pitch is lined to center field. Hangs up for Varcho, who ran to the right, stopped, and made the catch. 1 out.
That is a gigantic gold chain on Alex Verdugo's neck, by the way. I don't know how comfortable it is to play with that thing.
You weren't rocking a similar chain on the mound?
I mean, it looks good. I'm just saying it must be uncomfortable to play with. But no, I wasn't.
No?
No.
Never considered it once?
No.
With 1 out now, here's DJ LeMahieu. First pitch is called, strike 1. You mentioned last time he was up that LeMahieu has been around. He's on his second contract right now with the Yankees. Takes the next pitch outside, 1-1. Was originally a Cubs draft pick in 2009, a second rounder out of LSU. Won the national title with the Tigers in 2009. Looking out at Kikuchi. Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Debuts as a Cub, then gets traded after the 2011 season to the Rockies. Plays it out with the Rockies through 2018. Signs with the Yankees for the first time in 2019. 2-1. Swinging a high fly ball right center field. Tailing toward the gap. Varsho running it down. Makes the catch on the track. And there are 2 down.
Well, he makes everything easy, or look easy out there. I'm sure a lot of center fielders don't get to that baseball, but Dalton Varsho is not one of them.
Yeah, that was a good drive by LeMahieu. A pretty good bet for his first extra base hit of the season, but instead Varsho takes it away. And now the catcher, Jose Trevino, will come up, a .245 hitter with 8 homers. First pitch. Downstairs, 1-0. But for LeMahieu, who's just retired, he won the batting title for the second time in his career in 2020, when in the shortened season he hit .364 with the Yankees, signed a 6-year, $90 million deal in 2021. Next pitch to Trevino, called strike, evens up the count at 1-1. So not only has LeMahieu been around a while, but he will continue, it seems, to be a Yankee for a number of years going forward.
And on July 13th, he's going to be 36 years old.
1-1 pitch, fouled back, 1-2.
So I can only assume that his best years are behind him.
Hey, you never know. He has had a bit of a down stretch over the last 2-3 years. And hitless today, off to a tough start to this season. Time is asked for at the plate by Trevino, and it's granted by home plate umpire Clint Vondrack. Trevino, a veteran catcher himself, former Ranger. Bats from the right side. 2 outs, base is empty, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Kikuchi gets him on a high fastball. 7 strikeouts in 5 innings of 1-run ball so far for the lefty. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Bo Bichette, and Spencer Horwitz will hit for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 5th in this 1-1 game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
They had to make that deal in order to be a championship contender.
Basketball's business season is officially underway. And NBA Radio has you covered with wall-to-wall free agency action starting Sunday.
Blockbuster deal. It's a 3-team trade.
We're breaking down every rumor and every signing.
That would be a huge pickup.
The NBA free agency free-for-all starts Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern.
It's madness. It's chaos.
Don't miss a moment on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
The final major championship of 2024 is coming, and you can hear all the action on SiriusXM.
Up toward the hole, has a chance, and it goes! Rory McIlroy with an overhand fist bump!
Coverage of the 152nd Open Championship begins Monday, July 15th, with play-by-play beginning Thursday, July 18th on Open Radio.
He's holding the big one! Brian Harman is the champion golfer of the year!
Hear the 2024 Open Championship on Channel 92 when you're in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinion.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one that's listening to the Blue Jays baseball game with us. Please check and see if you've subscribed. If you haven't yet, please help us. Let's make this sub counter go crazy. Make this sub counter go up, and let's bring more people into this awesome Toronto sports community. Thanks for being here during this Blue Jays game. If you're a Blue Jays fan, we're gonna pick it. We're gonna pick it up. We're gonna turn it around this season. Let's go Blue Jays, and everybody else that's here, welcome. Good luck to your team, but God, our Jays need some wins. Back to the baseball. Cheers, everybody.
Spending your Friday night with us, I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. It's 1-1, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the former Yankee, leads it off for Toronto. IKF, Bo Bichette, Spencer Horwitz hit this inning for the Blue Jays. Strowman looks out to center field, steps onto the rubber. The wind and the pitch. Inside, ball one. Three singles, 2 walks, and 1 run allowed by Marcus Strowman so far. He twists and deals. Check swing, pitch lands outside, 2-0.
Who do you think has more weird movements out there, Marcus Strowman or Chris Bassett?
I gotta go Chris Bassett. 2-0. Swing and a liner off the end of the bat, headed to center. Judge hesitated, and it gets down in front of him. I think he thought that one was hit a little bit harder, and by the time he broke for it, didn't have a play. That's now a 12-game hit streak for Kiner-Falefa.
Yeah, I think you're right. Aaron Judge broke back. IKF got that just off the end of the bat and was able to dump it in front of Aaron Judge in center field. This is a good start to this inning. I would love to see IKF get to second base somehow.
Marcus Strowman's pitch. Called strike 1. By the way, on the St. Louis Bar and Grill Out of Town scoreboard, other AL East teams leading. Baltimore up 2-0 on Washington. 1-1 game here in Toronto. With nobody out, IKF on first. The 0-1 to Bo Bichette from Marcus Strowman. No, he's going to turn and throw late over to first. Other AL East game in action on the St. Louis Bar and Grill Out of Town scoreboard is in Boston, where the Padres are leading 2-1 and have the bases loaded. Nobody out in the top of the 5th. Strowman in the set at the belt. Delivers. Swing and a miss by Bichette. Got around early on a breaking ball, down and away. 0-2.
Well, I don't know who IKF is talking to over there at first base, but he was fully in his leadoff, and he was chatting with somebody. That's impressive.
Over in the Yankee dugout?
I don't know.
0-2. Bouncing ball, right side. This one's trouble. A dive. It's past Torres into right. Second baseman went full stretch for it, but didn't have a play. Up to second base is IKF, and at first is Bo Bichette with a single.
Well, such a good piece of hitting from Bo Bichette right there. There was, again, another huge hole on the right side of the infield. Gleyber Torres was shaded towards second, and J.D. Davis was holding on IKF at first, but Bo Bichette was such a good piece of hitting, finding that hole on the right side of the infield.
Some frustration from Strowman there. slamming his hand into his glove. He hasn't given up much hard contact at all today.
It was a good pitch. Bo just stuck the bat out. He knew exactly what he was doing there.
First and second, nobody out. Spencer Horwitz up. A look at second, the pitch. In the dirt, ball one. Horwitz came up with his 17th hit in now 17 games in the big leagues this season. Back in the third inning, a single to left. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. And not counting today, where he's been on base once in 2 tries, Horwitz's .492 on base percentage is the best in Major League Baseball going back to his June 8th debut among qualified hitters. 1-1. Swing and a foul off to the left.
Is that surprising to you? A guy that was hitting .335 this year in AAA, .337 last year.
Yes and no, because, as you know, AAA and the big leagues are still very different.
Yeah.
But he's got a good track record.
But I think the most important thing when you look at that is he did it 2 years in a row, right? So there's something there.
1-2. And it hit him. Got him on the right leg. Horwitz with a bit of a grimace, but he takes off the shin guard and jogs down to first. The bases are loaded with nobody out, and that one got him right on the foot.
And he didn't try very hard to get out of the way of that baseball. That was a team first move right there.
Hey, you're not going to run a 500 on base percentage jumping out of the way of breaking balls. Here's a mound visit for Matt Blake, the pitching coach, and now we can look at the injury report brought to you by Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. If life has thrown you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. You focus on getting better, and Bergmanis Pereira will take care of the rest. Visit bplawyers.ca. One major update we got on Blue Jays injured list players, Jordan Romano, Jimmy Garcia, both throwing on flat ground 120 feet again today, hoping to get them off a mound soon. Back to the action on the field, though, where the bases are loaded in this 1-1 game. Nobody out, bottom of the 5th, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. steps up to the plate. They play the infield at double play depth. Big lead off third for IKF in the vision of Marcus Strowman, who kicks and fires. Pitch outside, 1-0.
Well, Marcus Strowman definitely doesn't want to walk Vlad, but he also doesn't want to throw him a cookie down the middle. Have to be patient up there if you're Vladimir.
The 1-0. Takes a pitch, looked a little bit low. It's called a strike, borderline. It's 1-1.
That's a good take. Can't really do anything with that pitch. That's a pitcher's pitch right there.
Only guy on the infield in is J.D. Davis at first, creeping into the turf. 1-1, swing and a miss. Vlad fooled there by the slider, 1-2. Guerrero's going to ask for time and step out. Just a half swing. Stalks back into the box. Yankees are willing to give up a run here to get 2 outs in this 1-1 game, bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Strowman in the set. A long look in. He kicks and delivers. Pitch taken down and away. 2-2.
That's a good take. Looks like a fastball right on the outside corner and then darts off. That's a good take right there from Vlad.
That was the slider. Strowman's 2-2. Bounce to the plate. Full count. Nowhere to put Guerrero. And this can be an uncomfortable position for pitchers here as a walk would score a run. IKF taking a step off third. It's Bo Bichette at second and Spencer Horwitz at first. A pair of singles and then a hit batter. Strowman in the set. The payoff pitch. Swing and a chopper to short, charging in Volpe. Flips it over to second one. Back to first, not in time. Guerrero is safe. A run comes in to score. Vlad clapping. He likes the hustle. So do his teammates at the top step. It's 2-1 on the RBI fielder's choice.
Yeah, that's a good job from Vlad, putting the bat on the ball. That was a tough pitch, almost off the plate outside, but Vlad was able to get the barrel to the ball. And the best part about that, he ran hard down to first base and beat it out. You can see Marcus Strowman screaming into his glove there.
Can't ask for much more from Strowman, who gets a ground ball to short, but Guerrero ran it out. Yankees thought about looking at it, decide not to. So Guerrero stays at first. Bichette is up to third. It was Horwitz retired on the fielder's choice. And here's Justin Turner. 2-1 Blue Jays. Strowman in the set. And the pitch. Down and away, ball one. Turner is 1 for 1 with a single and a walk today. It's the 5th game in a row that Turner has both a hit and a walk. 1-0. A little bit low. Two-0 pitch. Down and away 3-0, and things starting to snowball a bit here on Marcus Strowman, who just threw his 87th pitch.
You still have to be patient if you're Justin Turner. Don't get antsy in that box.
3 balls and no strikes. Strowman kicks and offers and misses down and away, ball 4. Pretty big miss for a 3-0 pitch. That'll load up the bases for George Springer.
A guy who is seeing the ball really well. And now Marcus Strowman is going to have to come with something over the plate. You don't want to walk him here, but here comes Aaron Boone.
He is not, we think, going to let Marcus Strowman go any further. He did walk out yesterday and leave Carlos Rodon in, so we'll wait a moment here as the infield and the catcher Trevino congregate, but there is the point to the bullpen. Strowman hands him the ball, and the former Blue Jay is knocked out with just 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. A 2-1 Blue Jay lead, and the bases loaded. Let's go back to baseball control. Here's today's host, Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we check the out-of-town scoreboard, a reminder that we do have Jays Talk tonight. Blair and Barker have the post-game show. They will take your calls. Jeff will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. All right. Out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. We are officially approaching the end of All-Star voting. And in the American League, the finalists were unveiled yesterday. Aaron Judge was the leading vote getter in the AL, so he's officially off to Texas. Everyone else has been entered in a showdown for their respective positions. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Ryan Mountcastle are the 2 finalists for first base in the American League. You can vote for Vladdy once a day, beginning Sunday, June 30th, so in a couple of days, at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Ben mentioned this earlier, but the NHL draft on right now. You can watch it on Sportsnet. The whole crew out in Vegas for the weekend. Not a huge surprise. The Sharks taking center Macklin Celebrini, number 1 overall, as expected. The Blackhawks going with defenseman Artem Levshinov at number 2. Ducks going with forward Beckett Seneca at number 3. Blue Jackets center Caden Lindstrom at number 4. And the Habs taking winger Ivan Demidov at number 5. Other Canadian teams sends to Carter Yakimchuk at number 7 overall. And the Flames going with Zane Parrick at number 9. And some Raptors news to get to. On the heels of Scotty Barnes a few days ago signing his rookie max extension, Emmanuel Quickley also re-upping with the Raptors. 5 years, $175 million for him. The team also picking up the option on Bruce Brown, $23 million for Brown, who's an expiring contract and is likely to be a highly valued asset before the trade deadline once the NBA season begins. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back down to the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much. So a very animated Marcus Strowman taken out of the game. Goes down the tunnel as right-hander Michael Tonkin gets loose for the Yankees, coming into a big situation. It's 2-1 Blue Jays, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the bases are loaded as Tonkin enters to face off with George Springer. Righty about to make his 26th appearance of the season, his 21st as a Yankee, who are his 3rd team already pitched for this year. In sum, with all 3 of his teams, he has a 2.31 earned run average in 35 innings. He struck out a batter an inning, walked 15. Tall righty stands on the third base side of the rubber. Bichette on third, Guerrero on second, Turner on first. The pitch to Springer. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. It's a sidearm delivery from Tonkin, who throws a 93-mile-per-hour fastball, a slider, A sinker and a sweeper. 0-1. Swinging a bouncing ball, foul just wide of the third base bag. Nearly extra bases. Instead, it's 0-2.
This is a big pitch right here. You don't want to strike out. You want to make contact with this pitch. You have to score that run from third base. That's a big run standing on third base.
On the other side, the 6'7" reliever Michael Tonkin would love a strikeout or a ground ball here with the bases loaded and 1 out. 0-2. Bounce to the plate, backhanded pick by Trevino, a run-saving stop. One ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. An RBI fielder's choice by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the difference in this game right now. It's 2-1 Blue Jays, bottom of the 5th. Tonkin sets at his chest. The pitch. And he hits Springer on the arm. Springer jumping around. That one stung him. And John Schneider is going to go out and check on him with head athletic trainer Jose Ministral. Got him on the left forearm. And they're still looking at Springer. That will score a run for the Blue Jays and make it 3-1. But some concern here as Springer has not started the walk toward first yet.
It might have got him on the hand.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're looking at his hand right now.
Well, as we've seen, that's not a great place to get hit. You can easily break a bone if you get hit in the hand, but right in that, it looked like almost right in that wrist bone.
And that was the four-seam fastball from Tonkin. Had pitched him inside the hole at bat. And Springer had started to swing, and it hit him on the underside of that hand. Not saying the same thing happened, but not that far off from the spot that Danny Jansen got hit in spring training. They're still examining the hand-wrist area of Springer right now. Bo Bichette has trotted home for the Blue Jays' third run. Guerrero at third and Justin Turner at second. And they're still checking out Springer right now, just off to the left behind home plate.
Well, he is red hot right now. This couldn't come at a worse time for George Springer and the Toronto Blue Jays.
Springer taking off the batting glove off of his right hand, nodding as he talks with John Schneider and Jose Ministral. Kevin Kiermaier has come to the top of the dugout in case they need him, but Springer is going to walk toward first. He gets an RBI in the most painful way, and the Blue Jays take a 3-1 lead. Tonkin's going to get a couple pitches here to warm up after that long pause as they were checking on George Springer. Dalton Varsho will hit next for the Blue Jays.
I also wouldn't be surprised if George Springer finishes off this inning and then comes out of the ballgame after he runs the bases.
We'll have to wait and see on that one. For now, Springer at first talking to Mark Budzinski, the first base coach.
Especially if the Blue Jays are fortunate enough to score a couple more runs here.
That's what they want to do. Up 3-1 now with 2 runs in this 5th inning. Only 1 out, and the bases are loaded for Dalton Varsho. Tonkin, the righty, delivers. And the left-handed hitter Varsho takes a backdoor slider, strike 1. Varsho's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a pop-up. Guerrero sprints off third into the eye line of Tonkin, the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Waves through a slider there to make it 0-2.
That is a tough slider from Tonkin. A ton of horizontal movement.
He's really leaned into his breaking pitches this season, threw a lot more fastballs last year. 0-2. Fouled off the glove of Trevino and back behind the plate, so Varsho just barely stays alive. It's been an interesting year for Tonkin, who started the year with the Mets on a major league deal, was designated for assignment 3 different times in April, twice by the Mets, once by Minnesota. 0-2. Bounced and it skips away from Trevino. Guerrero coming to the plate. Trevino races and dives and tags him. A very aggressive move there by Vlad as that one scooted away only 7-8 feet from Trevino, who recovered and gets Guerrero. He is called out. The other runners do advance, so it's Turner on third and Springer on second. And now 2 down.
Well, I love an aggressive play, but with 1 out and the base is loaded, you can't get thrown out there. You have to be sure. That ball scooted maybe 10, 15 feet away from Trevino, not far enough to get home. And then a dangerous play right there. Vlad diving head first into Jose Trevino.
Thankfully, they both look okay. That'll go down as a wild pitch. The other two runners advance. And now with 2 outs, the 1-2 pitch misses high and outside to Varsho. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 2 in scoring position. Tonkin looks at third, delivers home. Check swing, appeal down to third. He went around on the pitch high and outside. Strike 3. The Blue Jays score 2 in the inning on 2 hits. They're up 3-1 after 5. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You could bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Sundays are for Junior Jays, and with all kinds of cool new games and activities in the exciting outfield district areas, there's no end to the family fun you'll have.
If you're feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop on the bandwagon fan. We're the in it for the long haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Next pitch, Moniak takes off. It's low, a ball, throw down to second. They got him!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Yusei Kikuchi back on the mound for the 6th inning. 3-1, the Blue Jays lead the Yankees. 9-1-2 for New York. Jahmai Jones, Anthony Volpe, and Juan Soto. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Kikuchi with a long wait in the bullpen as the Blue Jays sent 7 batters up in a 2-run 5th. First pitch to Jones is a broken bat flare, shallow right field, and that will get down for a base hit. Tough break there for Kikuchi. Jones with a leadoff single to flip the lineup over.
I don't know if I've told you this before, but in Japan, if there's an extended inning, the starting pitcher will go out in front of the dugout and just start playing catch, literally in front of the dugout during the game.
Feels dangerous.
It's the strangest thing. I refuse to do it, but I bet Yusei was like, come on, just let me get out there.
Well, they got places inside if they want. Back in the tunnels to throw. Here's the pitch to Anthony Volpe. Squares to bunt and pushes it near first. Guerrero fields, and he's got no play. Volpe beat the second baseman Horwitz and the pitcher Kikuchi to the bag. That's a bunt single for Volpe. I think that was his intention all along. Up to second base is Jahmai Jones with nobody out.
Well, you say Kikuchi's has some work to do now. Runners on first and second, nobody out, and Juan Soto coming to the plate. That was a perfect bunt from Anthony Volpe.
Only the 3rd hit today off Kikuchi. A bunt and 2 broken bat hits are what the Yankees have. But they have runners on now for, like you said, the toughest part of the order. Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. Soto is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. A peek at second, and the left-on-left pitch. Bounce near third, picked by Jansen. Or it actually squirts out of the glove, but it stays in front of him, 1-0. Soto will adjust his batting gloves. New baseball for Yusei Kikuchi, who licks his fingers, wipes them on his pants, and steps back on the rubber. Jones leading off second, Volpe off first. Kikuchi sets at the belt, staring at second, now the 1-0. Low, 2-0.
now he's in a little bit of a hole here, falling behind 2-0 to Juan Soto. You don't want to walk him. You don't want to put the bases loaded for Aaron Judge.
Judge hit a grand slam just a couple days ago in the Subway Series against the Mets. Kikuchi's going to step off. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Soto's former team, the San Diego Padres, up 9-1 on the Boston Red Sox. Big inning for them in the fifth. 2-0 to Soto. Called the ball. It has been a tight zone. That one looked pretty good at the knees. It's 3-0.
But again, he missed his spot, and Danny Jansen had to come across the zone with that glove. I know that's a strike. Don't get me wrong, but that maybe is why it wasn't called a strike.
3-0 pitch. Swing and a fly ball deep right field, and the Yankees have taken the lead. A bat flip into outer space by Juan Soto. He hits a moonshot home run, and it's 4-3 New York.
Well, that's what happens when you fall behind to either Juan Soto or Aaron Judge. You have to come with something that is hittable, and Yusei Kikuchi throws that pitch over the middle of the plate. Juan Soto hits it 105 miles an hour off the facing of that third deck.
I don't know what went higher in the air, the home run or the bat flip after. Soto's 20th of the year. It's 4-3 New York. And you're not out of the woods now with Aaron Judge coming up. But first, John Schneider walking out to the mound. And this could be it for Kikuchi, who had given up only one hit and one run through 5 innings. He gives up 3 hits, including a 3-run homer to start the 6th. And Schneider patting him on the back, takes the baseball. That's it for Kikuchi. Yankees have flipped this game with one big swing. New pitcher coming in for Toronto. Let's go to baseball control as Nate Pearson jogs in. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben and Chris. Before we check the out-of-town scoreboard, another reminder that we do have J-Stock this evening. Blair and Barker have the post-game show. They will take your calls. Jeff will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. All right, the out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. We mentioned the extensions for Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel quickly earlier. A big NBA trade to get to as well. The Atlanta Hawks trading DeJounte Murray to the Pelicans for Larry Nance Jr., Dyson Daniels, and first-round picks in 2025 and 2027. The NBA draft also officially in the books. The Raptors doing a fair bit of business. So if you miss any of this, the first-round draft pick this year for the Raptors, Baylor forward Jacoby Walter to kick off the second round. The Raptors used the 31st pick in the draft to select University of San Francisco forward Jonathan Mogbo, the 45th pick on Houston guard Jamal Shed, and the 57th pick on Cameroonian forward Ulrich Shamshe, who played in the Basketball Africa League and was the youngest player in this year's draft. Toronto also making a trade, which was made official today. They send Jalen McDaniels to the Sacramento Kings. In return, the Raptors getting back Davion Mitchell and Sasha Vezenkov. And with the draft over, some undrafted free agent news as well. Raptors also agreeing on a 2-way deal with Utah Youth Center Brandon Carlson and an Exhibit 10 deal with Illinois forward Quincy Guerriere. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back down to the Rogers Center. Nate Pearson on the mound in relief of Yusei Kikuchi. Here's Ben Shulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, Show. Quincy Guerriere, a Quebec native, so that's fun for Raptors fans. Here in the 6th inning, this one has dramatically changed in Toronto after the Blue Jays took a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 5th. A bloop single, a bunt single, and a mammoth home run by Juan Soto. It's 4-3 now for the Yankees over the Blue Jays. Nate Pearson is in to face Aaron Judge. Nobody out, bases empty, right on right, the pitch. Breaking ball hits the bottom of the zone, strike one.
And now because the Blue Jays are down by 1, you have to go back to the bottom half of the 5th inning and look at that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. play, trying to get home on that ball that barely got away from Trevino.
0-1. A little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Guerrero attempted to go on a wild pitch and was tagged out by Trevino himself, who got the ball and recovered to the plate rather than flipping to the pitcher. Then Dalton Varsho would strike out, and bases loaded, 1 out, turned into no more runs. 1-1. Swing and a deep fly ball left field. Going back, Barger turns. He'll play it off the fence. Judge around first. He's going to have to settle for a wall ball single. But more loud contact from the Yankees. Judge is aboard with nobody out.
Nice play from Madison Barger. We talked earlier about him taking some fly balls off the fence during batting practice. He does a good job keeping Aaron Judge right there to a single.
Be one of the deepest singles of the season as Judge hit that off the top of the bullpen fencing, the highest part of the wall out in left field. 4-3 Yankees. Runner on first. Nobody out. Here's J.D. Davis. Nate Pearson's first pitch is inside. 1-0. 33rd appearance of the season for Pearson, a 4.5 ERA. He struck out 38 and walked 12 in 30 innings. One-0. Swinging a fly ball left center. That will split Varsho and Barger and bounce onto the track. Judge around second, going to third. He's getting away from Luis Rojas, and the relay to the plate is cut off by Guerrero. That's an RBI double for J.D. Davis. It's 5-3 Yankees.
Well, now you really have to start making good pitches. You don't want to fall behind by 3 here. There's nobody out. A guy on second base. You have to start making pitches like it's a tie ball game right here.
Yankees had 1 hit in 5 innings. They have 5 hits in this 1 inning alone. Now Davis leading off second. The pitch to Gleyber Torres. Backs out of the way of a high slider. 1-0.
J.D. Davis standing at second base cannot score.
Torres 0 for 2 today, a ground out and a flyout. 2 peaks at Davis, the 1-0. Torres backs out of the way of another high slider, 2-0. For Yusei Kikuchi, it looked really good right until the end. He goes 5+ innings today, 4 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 3 of them coming on the Soto homer this inning. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. 2-0. Swinging a fly ball deep left, and that one's gone. A huge homer for Gleyber Torres into the Blue Jay pen, and the Yankees have exploded for 6 runs this inning. It's 7-3 New York.
Well, Nate Pearson fell behind 2-0, and he had to come back with something over the middle. And Gleyber Torres was ready for it. That was just a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle, and Gleyber Torres drilled it into the bullpen in left field. That's got to feel good for him.
A guy who had taken a couple days out of the lineup due to a mental reset. It's his 8th home run of the season, RBIs 30 and 31. And after 3 allowed by Kikuchi in this inning, Pearson has allowed 3 of his own. And let's go Yankees can be heard here at Rogers Center. Still nobody out. Here's Alex Verdugo, right on left pitch. Called strike 1, slider down the middle.
Well, if you take a look back at these home runs this inning, Yusei Kikuchi fell behind Juan Soto, homer. And then Nate Pearson falls behind Gleyber Torres, homer.
The 0-1. Swinging a fly ball to left. This one playable for Barger, moves to left center and makes the catch. There's the first Blue Jays out of the inning. Yeah, it was a 3-0 count when Soto homered, a 2-0 count when Torres homered.
Blue Jays just gave up 6 runs before getting an out.
They did.
That is hard to do. That's all I'm saying.
They scored 5 yesterday before an out in the first inning, but the Yankees one-upping that here in the 6th inning of Game 2. DJ LeMahieu waves and misses at a first pitch slider by Pearson, 0-1. That's now 5 earned runs given up by Pearson in his last 2 outings. 0-1 to LeMahieu. Check swing on a pitch down and away. Appeal to the first. No swing, says the crew chief, TJ Rayburn.
Nate Pearson's ERA has gone from 4.5 to 5.34. He won't be happy about that.
Yeah, this is Cabrera getting loose. The 1-1. Down and away, 2-1. Pearson from the stretch, the pitch. Swinging a chopper toward the third base dugout, foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. LeMahieu 0 for 2 today, struck out swinging on a fastball in the third and a deep fly out to right center field in the fifth. The kick and the pitch. LeMahieu leans back out of the way of a high slider, full count. LeMahieu asks for time, moves up in the box, and then back out to the left. The Yankees have some bullpen questions of their own, but they've built a nice lead for themselves here with 6 runs in the 6th inning. It's 7-3 Yankees. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4. Jose Trevino about to hit.
Yeah, Nate Pearson just doesn't have command of that breaking ball today. We've seen it so good recently, but tonight it's just more of a spinner. Doesn't really have command of it. A lot of the spinners have been above the strike zone, and then you have to come back with that heater, and we saw what they did to that.
First pitch to Trevino, chopped to third on one bounce, picked by IKF. Throws to second one, over to first, inning-ending double play. 6 runs by the Yankees, 2 big homers, one from Soto, one from Gleyber Torres, and they take the lead with authority. 7-3 for the Bronx Bombers, middle of the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Mark 30 years of one of rap's greatest albums. And go deep into the musical world of the notorious B.I.G. on a channel featuring all his legendary rhymes. And stories from those who knew him best.
Whether it was party joints or songs about his life and times in Brooklyn.
Notorious Radio, throughout Black Music Month and the SiriusXM app. And now, for a limited time, on Channel 79.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89. Or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
Blue Jays fans, your manager, Sean Schneider, joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Hopefully you get a couple guys going at the same time, and we're just looking for consistency. It's been tough, it's been frustrating at times, but also feel good about the progress that certain guys have made and that the progress that we've made in terms of, our prep and our work.
Managers at the mic on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89 and the SiriusXM app.
The Blue Jays are in flight, leading 3-0.
Blue Jays fans, this is Ross Atkins, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. Bottom of the 6th inning, it's 7-3 for the Yankees over the Blue Jays. Danny Jansen leading off against 6'7" righty Michael Tonkin. First pitch strike, 0-1. The Yankees, with a 6th spot in the top of the 6th, sent all 9 batters up to the plate. Hit 2 big home runs, 0-1. Swinging a fly ball deep center. Judge going back, jogging at the track, and he makes the catch just in front of the wall. 1 out.
Aaron Judge is almost as tall as that fence out there.
Yeah, he does not need to jump to rob home runs.
I mean, I know that fence is pretty low out there, but it's still pretty impressive to see.
So 1 down, and here comes Addison Barger, 0 for 2. Right on left, the pitch. Called strike 1. Barger hitting 170. Came out of the gates being called back up on the 15th. Really hot. Went 6 for 14 in his first 4 games. He takes the next pitch. Called a ball. Looked pretty good. 1-1. Since that 6-for-14 start, he's 1 for his last 15. Has ran into a little bad luck, but hasn't squirted up as much either. 1-1 outside, 2-1. They play him fairly straight up to the pole in the infield. 2-1 pitch off the end of the bat, popped up. Third base side, foul. Racing over LeMahieu and Trevino. It's LeMahieu's call and catch with 2 hands, and there are 2 outs.
Well, I think the thing for me when I'm looking at Addison Barger up at the plate is, and this is strictly from a pitcher's point of view, he doesn't really have an approach. He swings wildly almost every swing. So when I see that as a pitcher, I mean, it's pretty easy, hard in, soft away. It's not that difficult to come up with a game plan for Addison Barger. And I knew Marcus Strowman before this game. He was probably licking his chops at looking at some of the game tape of Addison Barger.
First pitch outside to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa with 2 down. Now the next one is driven deep left field. Going back Verdugo, twisting and turning at the track. That ball is gone. A solo home run for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and the Blue Jays try to start the comeback. It's now 7-4.
And he stays hot. 2 for 3 in this ball game. He made contact with that ball, took a couple steps, and then started his trot around the bases, but he is just swinging the bat so well right now. Knew that ball was gone right off the bat.
7th home run of the season for IKF. That flips it over to the top of the order. Bo Bichette's 1 for 2 with a walk, 2 runs scored. He takes strike 1. Blue Jays back within 3. The 0-1. Swinging a bouncing ball, backhanded by LeMahieu. Falling away, the throw to first is on the money. Nice play, DJ LeMahieu, to end the 6th. Blue Jays scratch 1 back with an IKF solo home run. It's 7-4 Yankees going to the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart Deferred Payment Program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm
Hey, this is Kevin Kiermaier. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Every day I'm hustling.
Left-hander Yenisys Cabrera on for the Blue Jays. 7th inning in Toronto, Game 2 of this series. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Cabrera making his 33rd appearance of the year, a 4.40 earned run average. He faces 9-1-2 for the Yankees, starting with Jahmai Jones. Same batter that led off last inning for New York as they sent 9 up to the plate and scored 6 runs. Blue Jays did get 1 back in the bottom half of the inning off an IKF solo home run. And now Cabrera trying to keep it there. Left on right, the pitch. Curveball for strike one. Hard fastball, slider, curve, and changeup for the lefty reliever. He kicks and delivers. A little bit low there with the change. 1-1. Bright blue glove for Cabrera. Here's his 1-1. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on Jones there with a second straight changeup. Jones went around. It's 1-2.
That's a nice changeup right there. That'll be a big addition to his arsenal if he can really start to command that.
He's going to use it against right-handed hitters most, like Jones, who asks for time. Cabrera just waiting on the rubber for Jones to step back in. DH now in the box. Cabrera tucks the ball into his glove. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. 97 above the zone. There's one out.
A couple of good changeups and that hard fastball. That is a good at-bat right there for Cabrera. That's kind of how we expected him to look this season, although he's been a little bit up and down.
He's rounded into form more as the season has gone on. Had an ERA above 6 in April, but now is approaching 4 even here in late June. His pitch to the top of the order, Anthony Volpe up. Just low. Through another change, 1-0. He's gotten some bigger opportunities as the year has gone on, too. Blue Jays have searched for consistency from their lefty relievers. 1-0. Swing and a foul off the end of the bat. 1-1.
Well, I think partly because Tim Meza has been struggling so mightily this season. They've needed that lefty in the bullpen, and Cabrera's really the only guy. I guess Trevor Richards, you could say, is kind of that lefty, but he's not a lefty. He's a righty, obviously.
And then the recent call-up of Brendan Little as well. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Put the slider past him. It's 1-2. Volpe with a bunt single in the 6th really set the table for the Yankees. Juan Soto on deck, hit the 3-run homer to give New York the lead. 1-2. Hit on a hop to short. Grabbed by Bichette. Overhand throw is high to first. Guerrero leaps and tags him behind the back for the out. Vlad had to jump up and reach behind him to get Volpe on the back with the tag. Yankees are peeking at it, but it looks like they're not going to do anything further. So it's a nice play from Vlad at first on the high throw, and there are 2 down.
Well, even though the Yankees were peeking, it seemed like Anthony Volpe knew that Vlad tagged him on the back. He was walking off the field even before the Yankees made that decision.
You could tell he tagged him, pretty much knocked the helmet off of Volpe.
Volpe knew.
2 outs, nobody on. Left, the matchup with Juan Soto. First pitch. Runs inside. Soto backs out of the box. 1-0. Juan Soto has a 3-run homer. It's given the Yankees the lead today. Also a walk. 2 runs scored. 1-0. Inside, he jackknifes out of the way of the fastball and backpedals to the edge of the dirt circle. It's 2-0. There's a reason Soto was second among All-American League players in All-Star votes, only behind Aaron Judge, who's automatically qualified for the game. 2-0. Swing and a bouncer to second. Guerrero cuts off Horwitz. Fields flips back to Cabrera, steps on the bag, and ends the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Genesis. Cabrera keeps it at 7-4 Yankees. We're going to the 7th inning stretch in Toronto. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart deferred payment program. your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
When Blue Jays starter Kevin Gossman is on the mound, you hear a lot of pops at Rogers Center. The pop of the ball hitting the catcher's mitt. The pop of the crowd as they cheer on another Gossman strikeout. But most importantly for Goss, the pop of his bubble gum.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the splitter again. One of the best at his craft.
Gossman loves his gum. So be one of the first 15,000 fans on Wednesday, July 3rd and get your Kevin Gossman bubblegum bobblehead. Get your tickets at BlueJays.com.
The hardest work should lead to the best quality of life. If you're a skilled trades worker, you might not be feeling that way right now. But in Alberta, skilled trades workers can earn more, save more, and live more with better wages and a lower cost of living. Visit albertaiscalling.ca to learn more about the $5,000 moving bonus for the first 2,000 skilled trades workers who move to Alberta, stay for a year, and successfully apply. A message from the Government of Alberta.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Fastball cracked to center field, to the wall, to the track. It's gone.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. Welcome back to Rogers Center. 7-4 Yankees over Blue Jays. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. New pitcher for the Yankees is the veteran right-hander Luke Weaver is into the game for New York. Toronto trying to rally again. It has been one of, if not their best offensive stretch of the year. Blue Jays have scored 5 or more in 4 straight games. 1 run away from making that 5 in a row. It's already a season-long streak of 4, but they're going to have to double their run total to win this game, trailing 7-4 as we start the bottom in the 7th.
They'll have to do it against a reliever that's only given up 26 hits in 44 2/3 innings.
Weaver has shot up in terms of leverage in their pen as the year has gone on. Righty winds and the pitch. Spencer Horwitz takes called strike 1. Luke Weaver features a mid-90s fastball, a low 90s cutter, a changeup, and a very seldom used curveball. Is 0-1. Up and in. Horwitz spins out of the way. That one was near his head, and he's already been hit by a pitch today, hitting the foot in the 5th. Has a single and a flyout. A breath from Weaver. The righty steps to the side, kicks, and the pitch. Swing and a looping foul ball into the stands, third base side, 2-2. Or 1-2, pardon me. Weaver, a Cardinals first rounder in 2014 out of Florida State. First pitched in the majors with St. Louis in 2016. Was part of that big Paul Goldschmidt deal sent to Arizona when Goldschmidt went the underway and had some injury problems soon after. 1-2. Bounce to the plate.
Luke Weaver actually made 25 starts last year.
Yeah, started last year with the Reds, released mid-season, signed with the Mariners, and then claimed off waivers by the Yankees in September. 2-2. Found back into the netting.
And he has absolutely found a home with the Yankees. A 2.62 ERA, 29 ball games, 0 starts. So he is a reliever now, that's for sure.
His 2-2 again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sharp breaking ball there. It was the cutter, I believe, or actually a 90-mile-per-hour changeup, pardon me, by Luke Weaver to strike out Horwitz. 1 down.
Yeah, it's a changeup that is very hard, but it has just enough depth to it, kind of like a split finger. He throws that fastball 95, 96, and then mixes in that good changeup that has tons of depth to it. Spencer Horwitz swings over it.
So now it's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with 1 out and the base is empty. Weaver's pitch. Outside with a heater at 97. 0-1. When the Blue Jays were playing the Yankees in April, Weaver was more of a long guy because of his starting experience. 1-0. Called strike. 1-1. But they've had some injuries and a lot of turnover in their pen recently, and he has been a constant. Blue Jays did rough him up both times they saw him earlier this year. 1-1. Outside. You go to the 6th of April in the Bronx. The Blue Jays scored 3 runs in 2 innings against Weaver. And then they scored 2 runs in an inning and a third here in Toronto against him on the 16th. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a fly ball. Right center field. Judge going back at the track. That ball is gone. Another Blue Jays home run, the 12th of the year for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And the Blue Jays are down by 2. It's 7-5.
Well, Vlad absolutely smoked that ball to right center over the wall there in right center. He got a fastball up and out over the plate, and he didn't try to do too much with it, just went with it and absolutely smoked it.
A 407-foot last for Guerrero. He's got homers in 4 of the last 5 and 5 of the last 7. And he's wearing that comfortable home run jacket again, as the Blue Jays are suddenly a bloop and a blast away in the bottom of the 7th. With 1 out, the pitch to Justin Turner. Outside, ball 1.
When Vlad hit that ball, he didn't leave the batter's box for about 3 or 4 seconds, waited until that ball actually hit the crowd out in right field.
1-0. Low and away, 2 balls, no strikes.
I'm wondering if that's in response to Juan Soto flipping the bat.
It's possible. He knew he got it for sure. Tossed his bat back toward the third base dugout. 2 balls, no strikes, the pitch. Fouled off by Turner. Out in front there on that cutter.
Well, whatever the reason, I love it. Keep doing that. Whatever works.
Seems like everything is working for Guerrero right now. He's got 2 RBIs in this game, including a homer. Turner hasn't been retired yet, hitting 2 walks. 2-1 pitch. Fouled back into the netting. Middle fastball at 96. Just missed it. And the Blue Jays have an interesting development in the on-deck circle. Davis Schneider is there. Remember, George Springer was hit by a pitch in the hand, or kind of hand-wrist area, earlier in this game. He stayed in defensively since, but looks like he will not take his next at-bat. 2-2 to Turner, fouled back. Again, it's still 2-2.
And I don't think that's surprising. We saw the slow-motion replay right off the bone on that wrist, or the juicy part of that wrist there, and either way, it's not comfortable to get hit there.
So Schneider swinging on deck. Turner at the plate. Bases empty. 7-5 Yankees. 1 out, bottom 7. The pitch. In the dirt, ball 3.
Also, have you noticed the new facial hair of Davis Schneider?
Thick goatee.
So now we know why he was growing out the beard, to get the goatee going.
Yeah.
I'll ask you whether you're a fan or not later when he comes up to the plate.
I'm a fan. We can cut to the chase. I'm a fan. 3-2. Swing and a line drive headed to the left field corner. That ball is down, 1 hopping into the wall. Turner tearing around first. His former teammate Verdugo tosses it back in, but a slide into second by a clapping Turner. He's got a 1-out double.
That actually wasn't a bad pitch. Right there, it was a changeup down, almost out of the strike zone, but Justin Turner goes down and gulfs it down the line in left field. He ends up with a double. It's a big run standing out on second base.
And the tying run comes to the plate. Here's Davis Schneider pinch hitting in the spot of George Springer. No word yet from the Blue Jays on Springer. We'll let you know if we get that. But for now. A runner on second, 7-5 Yankees. One out, bottom of the seventh. Weaver from the stretch, the pitch. Gets a called strike on a night when the zone's been tight all day. A full ball off the plate is called strike one.
Not a great call right there, especially first pitch of the at-bat.
Weaver's 0-1. Swing and a miss. Schneider waves through a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. It's 0-2. 220 is the batting average of Davis Schneider this year. 10 homers, 35 RBIs. Oh-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Beat him with another 95-mile-per-hour fastball, and Schneider is the second out of the inning.
Well, he just got beat with two fastballs right there. I don't know if he was expecting something off speed or not, but those were two hittable fastballs, and Davis Schneider just was blown out right there.
So the Blue Jays turn to Dalton Varsho now, 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Turner on second, 7-5 Yankees, bottom of the seventh. Here's the pitch. Called strike one. Varsho trying to snap an 0 for 18 that stretches back to before he was hurt for a couple days in Cleveland. Never hit the injured list. Right on left, here's the 0-1 from Luke Weaver. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. These two teammates in Arizona, 2022 and 2021. Also in the 2020 season. Varsho swings and misses. It's now 1-2. Left-handed hitter takes a moment, looks at the dark barrel of his bat, and steps back in. He's the tying run at the plate, Dalton Varsho. Justin Turner's on second. The 1-2. Just tipped foul. Barely got a piece of it, and it clipped off Trevino. Skimmed it so slightly that as that ball bounced up the first baseline, Luke Weaver, the pitcher, ran after it, thinking that it was a drop third strike, maybe a wild pitch. Varsho hit that ball after it bounced. Looking at the slow motion replay, it hit the ground and then he hit it. Blue Jays center fielder brings the bat above his left shoulder, looking at Weaver. The righty's 1-2. Up and in. Varsho leans back out of the way. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And again, Trevino really trying to frame that pitch, bringing it from out of the strike zone, almost to the middle of the strike zone. That was too much for me. I'm sorry, Trevino, but that was too much.
And that one probably hits Varsho if he doesn't move. Chest high set for Weaver. 2-2 to Varsho. Swing and a flare to right. Going back now, coming in is Soto. Shortstop Volpe out there in right center, slides to make the play and end the inning. The Blue Jays inch closer with a Guerrero solo home run. They leave Turner on second, though, after a 1-out double. It's 7-5 Yankees going to the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
SiriusXM Fight Nation is hitting the road with a stop in Las Vegas for International Fight Week. Las Vegas. Beginning June 27th at 12 Eastern, SiriusXM Fight Nation will broadcast live from UFC X all week long ahead of UFC 303. Catch MMA Today and more special programming direct from Sin City.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Your home for the best UFC 303 coverage is SiriusXM Fight Nation Channel 156.
They had to make that deal in order to be a championship contender.
Basketball's business season is officially underway. And NBA Radio has you covered with wall-to-wall free agency action starting Sunday.
Blockbuster deal. It's a 3-team trade.
We're breaking down every rumor and every signing.
That would be a huge pickup.
The NBA free agency free-for-all starts Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern.
It's madness. It's chaos.
Don't miss a moment on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Hello, Blue Jay fans. I'm Craig Ballard, host of your daily Locked On Blue Jays podcast. Locked On Blue Jays is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Locked On Blue Jays brings you the latest Blue Jays news and analysis and breaks down all of the action. Locked On Blue Jays is everything a Blue Jays fan could want, all in a 30-minute daily podcast. Download Locked On Blue Jays right now on the SXM app, available with all trials and popular plans, or wherever you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Blue Jays.
In season or out of season, the number one place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Trevor Richards on the mound for the Blue Jays, top of the 8th inning, and a tight one. 7-5, the Blue Jays lead the Yankees. Richards takes over here with the middle of the order coming up for New York. It's Aaron Judge, J.D. Davis, and Gleyber Torres. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Davis Schneider remains in the game after pinch hitting for George Springer. Schneider in left field, Addison Barger pushed into Springer's right. First pitch to Aaron Judge, high, ball one. Richards, amid an impressive season, 35th appearance of the year, 2.63 ERA, gets Judge to ground a ball to third. It's off the glove of the third baseman, IKF, and Judge is safe at first. Wasn't hit very hard, although it was hit right down the line. It looked like across his body, IKF tried to forehand that almost on the backhand side and it hit the heel.
Yeah, it looked like it just handcuffed him. Wasn't sure whether to backhand it or play it out in front of him. That's just a miscue right there from IKF.
It'll go down as an error on the third baseman. First pitch to J.D. Davis. Popped up back of first, foul. Playable for Guerrero near the first base coach's box. Makes a two-handed catch. Good bounce back by Richards. One out.
I think actually after that play happened, IKF was looking at the dugout telling everybody that the ball was snaking. So that ball was going back and forth, and he wasn't really sure which way to go.
It is late in the game. The dirt is kind of patchy, different colors as it's dried out a little bit at Rogers Center. Quick out, though, after the error. Runner on first. Here's Gleyber Torres. First pitch is outside, 1-0. Maybe didn't seem as important at the time, although it obviously was important, but the two-run homer now by Torres, the difference in this game, it made it 7-3 Yankees at the time. It's now 7-5, top of the 8th. Torres will ask for time after a long look by Richards. This is the 5th time the Yankees have seen Trevor Richards this year. 3 out of the last 4. He did not give up a run. He did allow 2 runs to the Yankees on the 16th of April. He bounces the next pitch to Torres. It's 2-0. Fastball changeup for Richards. Throws over 60% changeups, more than anyone in Major League Baseball. His 2-0. Fastball upstairs, 3 balls and no strikes. Aaron Judge on first, 1 out. 7-5 Yankees on the back of their 6-run 6th inning. 3-0. Swinging a foul ball, hit deep into the seats down the right field line. 3-1.
This is a good time for Trevor Richards to throw one of those changeups right down the middle, make it look like a very hittable fastball, and then get an easy ground ball, maybe a double play.
Spencer Horwitz, the second baseman, playing up the middle. Bichette shaded toward third. Judge bouncing around at first. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a hot shot into right center field, a base hit. Judge around second. He'll stop there as Barger picks it up and lasers it back into second base. It's a single, though, for Torres. He's got 2 hits today after being 2 for his last 29 coming into this one.
Yeah, and that was a good swing. The home run was a good swing, but both of those at-bats, the pitchers fell behind 2-0, and I think that's the most important thing. You can get Gleyber Torres. If you throw strike 1 and then you expand, he'll strike out. He's shown that over the course of his career, but if you fall behind 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, that's when he does damage.
So now Richards tries to work through traffic. The Blue Jays have hit solo homers in each of the last 2 innings, gotten themselves back within striking distance. They really want to keep it at 7-5. First and second, 1 out, top of the 8th. The pitch to Alex Verdugo is lined to right field, a base hit, bouncing toward the wall. Judge getting the wave around third. He'll jog home. They're giving the wave to Torres as well. Relay throw to the plate, bounces in, and he's safe. The ball was there before, but he gets under the tag. It's a 2-run double for Alex Verdugo and a 9-5 Yankee lead.
That was just a miscue from Danny Jansen. I'm pretty sure that he was safe. The crowd doesn't like it, and I don't think the Blue Jays like it, but it looked like he was safe at home plate.
Toronto was challenging the safe call at home.
So you hear it there. The Blue Jays are challenging. DJ Rayburn, the first base ump, came in to talk with Clint Vondrak, who's left his mic on, but just turned it off. Vladdy bounced it. Jansen picked it. And he was on the first base side of the plate. Lunged back to the third base side, and it's pretty close.
I think he's safe. I don't think they're overturning this call.
We're getting an overhead look now. He didn't get him on the foot. He missed the foot. He got him on the thigh. Regardless, it's an 8-5 game. If the call stands or is confirmed, it would be 9-5, 1 out and a runner on second. If they overturn it, it's 8-5, 2 outs and a runner on second.
You could actually see IKF in that shot clapping. Didn't realize that he was going to be called safe.
They've showed the replay a couple times, and there hasn't been a big roar from Blue Jays fans. Take that as you will. Call on the field is safe, and they're going to need indisputable video evidence to overturn it.
The throw beat him by a lot. He should have been out, no questions asked.
And there is, the rule about blocking the plate where Danny Jansen had to make sure he was set up not in front of the plate, but once you get the ball, you are actually allowed to then get yourself pretty much in front of the plate entirely, and it did appear like he kind of waited there for Torres to get to him rather than going at Torres, who maybe was just getting into his slide as Jansen had fully received the ball. Here's the call.
On the field is overturned. Runner is out.
Hey now.
Toronto retains the challenge.
We didn't see that one coming, but they overturn it. Perhaps they had an angle that we did not, so that ends up being a pretty fruitful challenge for the Blue Jays, and Jansen did get the tag there in time. According to the video replay, it's still a 1-run double for Alex Verdugo, but instead of 9-5 Yankees, it's 8-5 Yankees with now 2 outs in the top of the 8th.
That's actually a huge call. 4 runs is almost insurmountable, but 3 runs, that's doable.
Trevor Richards looking at second now, and the pitch to DJ LeMahieu, high and outside, 1-0.
I'll tell you one guy that loves that call, Trevor Richards.
Well, that run that came in is not going to be earned against him either because Aaron Judge reached on an error. So in theory, this inning should be over, and Judge should have never been on base. 1-0 to LeMahieu. No, it's going to be a step off from Richards. Verdugo on second after the RBI double. 8-5 Yankees. 2 outs, top of the 8th. Richards staring at second. Delivers home. LeMahieu fouls it back. A changeup that was center cut but sent back into the netting.
Trevor Richards is very quietly having a great year. His ERA is now 2.59.
He's played a handful of roles for the Blue Jays. He started some games. He's pitched in long relief, higher leverage, 1-1. Fastball called low. Wasn't low according to the strike box, but called low, 2-1. Swing and a smoked liner foul into the second deck deep down the left field line, 2-2.
Yeah, DJ LeMahieu was all over that changeup from Trevor Richards. That's really the only thing he could do with that, though. Way out in front.
He was leaning almost all the way forward as he hit that ball. LeMahieu still searching for his first extra base hit of the season in his 24th game. 2-2. Swinging a foul ball off to the right. This time the fastball well located at the top of the zone, right on the outer edge. Tim Meza up in the Blue Jays pen. He's pretty warm at this point. Tommy Kahnle, same situation for the Yankees. 2-2. Bounce to the plate, off the chest of Jansen, skips off to the right. Verdugo up to third. Jansen picks it up halfway up the first baseline as it ricocheted off the backstop and almost went through the legs of the on-deck hitter, Jose Trevino. That'll be a wild pitch on Trevor Richards, and Verdugo's 90 feet away from scoring.
That actually hit off the elbow of Danny Jansen. That's why it ricocheted so hard over to the Yankees dugout.
It's now runner on third, 2 down, 3-2 pitch is drilled to left field. Going back toward the bullpen. That one's off the base of the wall. Verdugo scores. LeMahieu going for second. Throw comes in late. It's the first extra base hit of the season for DJ LeMahieu. An RBI double, and now it's 9-5 Yankees.
Well, that was just a very hittable changeup that started right down the middle, kind of faded inner third, right in the bat path of DJ LeMahieu, and he drilled it down the line off the wall in left field.
It was going to come at some point for LeMahieu. He hits a big double. Now Jose Trevino fouls back the first pitch, 0-1.
I mean, there's no way he hits 178 for the rest of the season.
And doesn't have an extra base hit. He's won the batting title in both leagues. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off, 0-2. Former Silver Slugger.
He is turning 36, though. I can't emphasize that enough. You aren't there yet. When you get out of bed and you're 36 years old, things change.
That's why I'm not saying that. 0-2. Ground ball hit foul down the left field line. LeMahieu had started to go to third. He saunters back over to second base. Spencer Horwitz, the second baseman for the Blue Jays, playing just behind the bag. Yankees have reestablished their 4-run lead. It's 9-5 New York. 2 outs, runner on second, 2 strikes, and the pitch to Jose Trevino. Bounce the changeup, 1-2. It hasn't been Richards' best inning, but none of these runs will go earned against Richards because of the error made on the Judge ground ball to start the inning. Next pitch to Trevino hit foul. So it's still 1-2. Do you think it could impact a pitcher? You know, you're battling against one of the best in baseball and Judge. You get a ground ball to third, and instead of getting him out, you're now dealing with a runner on to start this inning?
Well, anytime there's runners on base, you're pitching a little bit differently.
Next pitch is lifted by Trevino, right center field. Barger making the call for it. The rookie makes a two-handed catch and ends the inning. 2 runs for the Yankees on 3 hits. RBI doubles by Verdugo and LeMahieu make it 9-5 New York, middle of the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Our core values: equality, respect, the pursuit of greatness. Through and through, this is who we are.
Be at the ballpark to experience a proud tradition. Canada Day, Monday, July 1st. The first 15,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays Canadian tuxedo hat giveaway. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Proud to the core. Canadian to the core. Blue Jays to the core.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between pizza, and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. and inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed-rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
This is the best I've ever seen.
The competition's heating up on America's Got Talent.
Yeah!
Heart-pumping performances.
This season, everything is 10 times better.
And must-see moments.
You absolutely nailed it.
It was incredible.
The word is epic.
With $1 million dream on the line.
You've got a real shot at winning after that.
America's Got Talent. All new Tuesdays, 8, 7 Central on City TV. Or stream it on City TV Plus.
Hey, this is David Schneider. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Home half of the 8th inning. Blue Jays taking on the Yankees, second of a 4-game series, and the Yankees have reestablished their 4-run lead. 2 RBI doubles in the 8th have made it 9-5 New York at Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Pitching change, Tommy Kahnle in for New York, and a defensive substitution. J.D. Davis is out of the game. DJ LeMahieu goes from third to first, and Oswaldo Cabrera takes over in the hot corner. 7-8-9 for the Blue Jays, starting with Danny Jansen. The righty Kahnle sets below his belt, kicks, and fires. First pitch fastball misses outside, 1-0. For Kahnle, his 15th appearance of the season. He's pitched 11 1/3 innings this year. 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. You had the most changeup heavy guy in baseball in Trevor Richards pitching last. Well, this is just about as close as you're going to get to Richards. Kahnle's going to throw his changeup a ton. 1-1. Swing and a chopper foul, 1-2.
Well, I think the major difference between the two is Kahnle has that bowling ball type fastball that really separates them.
And Kahnle's is more of a power change, where Richards is going to throw it way slower than his fastball. Kahnle's changeup is actually in the mid to high 80s. 1-2. Down and away with the changeup at 90. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and that fastball is generally 96, 95. When he's feeling good, you'll see him touch 97, but that changeup is something else for sure.
Kicks and delivers. Jansen takes a heater away at 96. Full count. Blue Jays have scored off of every Yankees pitcher they've seen in this game. 3 off Strowman, 1 off Tonkin, 1 off Weaver. Kahnle's 3-2. Fouled back by Jansen. Bottom middle fastball. Then he spoils it to the right. Toronto has scored 5+ runs for the 5th time in a row. Longest streak of the year. 3-2. Swinging a chopper between the legs of Jansen, rolling back toward the third base dugout. Another 3-2 to Jansen. Swing and a chopper, third base line, fair ball past the dive of Cabrera, off the retaining wall and left. Jansen around first, stumbles, and decides to go back to first base. That might have been him putting on the brakes anyway. Would have been a close play with the Blue Jays down 4. Decides not to take a risk.
Yeah, that was a smart play right there from Danny Jansen. You don't really want to take a risk, especially down 4 this late in a ball game. You could see his face is kind of frustrated there, but that's a good play right there from Danny Jansen. A good choice.
He's on first. Here's Addison Barger. Right on left the pitch. Foul tipped. 0-1. Tommy Kahnle from Latham, New York, near Albany. Originally a Yankee draft pick in 2010, but didn't debut with the Yankees because he was a Rule 5 pick of the Rockies in the early 2010s. 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Ended up back with the Yankees after pitching for the Rockies And then the White Sox traded at the 2017 deadline to the Yankees with Todd Frazier and David Robertson. Left for the Dodgers and now is back for his second stint with the team, third in the organization. His 0-2. Fastball, called strike 3. That was actually the change at 89. Looked a little off the plate away, but Barger is set down for the first out.
Yeah, that wasn't a strike, but I could almost guarantee that Tommy Kahnle was just going to give him a steady diet of changeups, and he did right there. A couple of good changeups on the outside part of the plate. Addison Barger had no chance.
1 out. Here's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. First pitch strike. IKF's having a big day. 2 hits and 2 runs scored, including his 6th inning solo home run, his 7th of the year. The 0-1. Swing and a bouncer to third, picked by Cabrera. Starts the turn to second for 1, over to first, inning-ending double play. Kahnle gives up a leadoff single, but ends up facing the minimum. It's 9-5 Yankees as we go to the 9th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
From Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran
It's just you and me.
to Zach Bryan,
Where the hell am I supposed to go?
Phoebe Bridgers, Noah Kahan, and beyond. The Coffee House serves up the singer-songwriters reshaping the sound of this moment, alongside stripped-down classics and acoustic covers.
You got a fast car.
Drop into the Coffee House, Channel 3, and the SiriusXM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed, strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
Hi, I'm Ozzie Smith, and my road to Cooperstown was paved in yellow gold.
This is John Paul Morosi. Coming up on the next episode of the new SiriusXM podcast, The Road to Cooperstown, I sit down with Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith.
When you're a small guy, you got to prove your worth over and over again because you're always hearing that negative, even after you accomplish.
The Road to Cooperstown airs Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the all-new SiriusXM app. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts.
The UFC is on SiriusXM. Hear all the action live from the Octagon every weekend on SiriusXM Fight Nation Channel 156.
Radio Network.
Ninth inning in downtown Toronto, the Blue Jays and the Yankees squaring off. It's 9-5 New York. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Thanks so much for sticking around on this Friday night. Tim Meza is into the game for the Blue Jays. Yankees will send 9-1-2 to the plate. Jahmai Jones, Anthony Volpe, and Juan Soto scheduled to hit, as Meza attempts to keep it at this 4-run deficit, with the Blue Jays setting up the top of the order in the bottom of the 9th. Left on right matchup to start it for Meza against Jones, who's 1 for 3 with a single, a run scored, 2 strikeouts. Here's the pitch. Misses inside, 1-0. It's been a tough go this season for Meza. 35th appearance of the year, 6.20 ERA. 1-0 pitch is hit off of his foot, bounces toward right field, a base hit. It has not been his best year, but some of the luck that Tim Meza has had over the last couple games is astonishing. There's a leadoff single.
Yeah, and I think that if that didn't hit Tim Meza, it would have gone right at Spencer Horwitz, who was playing right up the middle. That's really just how the season has gone for him, hasn't it?
I mean, you go back to his last outing, he saws off Rafael Devers for a hit and then gets a flare from Tyler O'Neill that bounces off the forearm of Kevin Kiermaier coming in to make a play. And now he starts this one with a ball off of his left foot, hit the outside of his left foot, and caroms where no one was in the infield. They checked on Meza for a moment, but He appears to be doing okay, and now he'll face the top of the order with a runner on first.
And that's the toughest part, right? You're facing the top of the order. You would have had that first out, that very important first out, and now you're facing Anthony Volpe with a runner on first and nobody out.
Jones leading off first, 9-5 Yankees. Nobody out, top of the ninth. Meza staring at the runner, pitches to Volpe. Pitch inside, 1-0. Volpe is 1 for 4 today, now has hits in 10 of 11 games. Bunted for his single in the 6th. 1-0. Swing and a liner foul off to the right. Sounds surprising, but the Yankees have struggled to score in bunches as of late. Tonight, not one of those nights. They score their most runs today in 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, as the 1-1 hits the zone to make it 1-2. Last time New York had 9 or more runs, they scored 11 at Kansas City on June 12th. Coincidentally, also the last time that they won a series. 1-2. Line drive center field, base hit for Volpe. It's a 2-hit night for the shortstop. Jones stops at second. First and second for the Yankees, nobody out.
And now you have Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. It doesn't get any easier.
Blue Jays have Bowden Francis loosening up in the bullpen should they need him. Did pitch yesterday in the 9th. Probably part of the reason you go to Meza here is that the left-handed hitting Juan Soto would be due up.
Well, he does have a homer against a lefty today already. Although Yusei Kikuchi fell behind 3-0.
Similar spot, though, when it was first and second, nobody out. First pitch. Low ball 1. Jahmai Jones on second, Anthony Volpe on first. The infield is shifted to the pull side against the left-handed hitting Soto, who's now on 20 home runs after his 3-run shot in the 6th. 1-0. Sinker called strike 1. IKF at third playing way off the line, but they might have to keep an eye on Jahmai Jones as well, who's getting very extended on his secondary lead.
Yeah, he was jumping around out there. I wonder if that's bugging Juan Soto.
Turn and throw back to second, right on cue. Jones back in with a dive.
Especially with nobody out, a lefty up at the plate, there's probably a very low chance that he even attempts a stolen base here.
1-1. Low 2-1. But they did already get the attention, at least, of the Blue Jays at Meza, and maybe that's the goal.
Yep.
Meza behind Soto, 2-1 the pitch. Broken bat, flare, center field. Varsho coming in. It's a base hit. Jones had to wait. He will stop at third. The bases are loaded. And again, Tim Meza can't catch a break. That is weak contact. That breaks the bat on a pitch out of the zone against Juan Soto, and the bases are loaded for Aaron Judge.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad pitch to Juan Soto. Obviously, we could hear his bat break on that pitch, but again, it's just some more bad luck for Tim Meza. When it rains, it pours, I guess.
Francis continues to loosen up, and right now, out to the mound is the catcher, Danny Jansen, talking to Meza about what they're going to do here with the bases loaded. Nobody out, and Aaron Judge coming up to the plate.
You can see Pete Walker and John Schneider talking in that dugout, probably trying to figure out if they want to bring Bowden Francis in this situation, but tough situation for any pitcher. Righty, lefty, doesn't matter.
Judge is 3 for 5 against Meza in his career with a home run. First pitch. Low, ball 1. If you go back to September 28th, 2022, Aaron Judge hit his 61st home run of the season to tie the American League record off of Tim Mesa. 1-0. Called strike. That was in this ballpark. Would go on to break the record on October 4th in Texas. Judge on a similar pace to a 62 homer season this year. He's got 30 home runs already. 1-1. Starts the swing, pulls his hands back. If you look at the strike box, it's a strike. But if you ask Clint Vondrak, it's ball 2, 2-1.
You don't seem to be very happy with his balls and strikes tonight.
It seems suspiciously tight until it isn't. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. It's been a really tight zone with a couple key misses outside. It has nothing to do with the result of the game, really.
Well, I think that's a key miss right there.
It's true.
Especially with the guy in the box.
And there were some close misses on the Soto walk that set up the first Yankee run as well. 2-2. Swing and a liner, left center field. That's a base hit. In to score Jones. Right behind him, Volpe. Up to third, Soto. A 2-run single for Judge. The Yankees lead 11-5.
And again, not really hit all that hard, but placed very well. Aaron Judge finds a hole out there in left center, and a couple RBIs, and this game is almost getting out of hand now.
4 hits for the Yankees and 4 batters here in the 9th inning. They had Clay Holmes up, but they're going to start getting other guys loose in the Yankee pen out in right field. And meanwhile, Bowden Francis is all but ready in the left field bullpen. For now, though, Mesa remains. And batting in the spot that was occupied by J.D. Davis is Oswaldo Cabrera, who came in defensively last inning. First pitch high and outside, 1-0.
Well, I would imagine this is Tim Mesa's last batter.
Nobody out, first and third. 2 runs in here in the 9th, 11-5 Yankees. Corners in, and the 1-0 is high, 2-0. Middle infield plays a little bit further back for the Blue Jays. Bo Bichette and Spencer Horwitz behind the baselines by a step or 2. Guerrero's holding on Judge at first, and IKF is even with the bag at third. 2-0. Swing and a foul ball off the end of the bat. Down in the right field stands, 2-1.
Tim Mesa's ERA is now 6.93.
Hard done by at times in this inning, but 4 straight hits for the Yankees. 2-1. Swing and a bouncer, fair ball down the left field line, a base hit. In to score Soto. Judge turns around second. He's headed to third. He'll see a stop sign. Into second, Cabrera. It's an RBI double for Oswaldo Cabrera, and a dozen runs for the Yankees, 12-5.
And John Schneider's, I think, about ready to get out of that dugout, and here he comes.
Schneider makes the march to the mound, and Bowden Francis will come into this game. Yankees have scored 3, still have 2 in scoring position, nobody out. Top of the 9th. Let's go back to baseball control. Here's today's host, Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we check the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, don't forget we do have Jays Talk this evening. Blair and Barker have the post-game show. They will take your calls. Jeff is down at the Rogers Center. He will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. All right, the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. The NHL draft on right now. You can watch it on Sportsnet as the first round is about to come to an end very shortly. The whole crew out in Vegas for the weekend. So the top 3, if you missed it, Macklin Celebrini to the Sharks, Artem Levshunov to the Blackhawks, and Beckett Seneca going to the Ducks. Canadian team selections, not a lot of them, actually. The Habs took Ivan Demidov at number 5 and Michael Hage at number 21. The Sens to Carter Yukemchuk at number 7. The Flames going with Zane Parekh at number 9 overall. The Leafs had the 23rd overall pick, and we just got there, but they just traded it to the Ducks. They got back number 31 and 58 overall from Anaheim. Over in the CFL, the Argos in action tonight. They're taking on the Alouettes at BMO Field, but Montreal leading Toronto 23-12 in the fourth quarter. And the Euros continuing. Group play officially in the books. The round of 16 now officially set. Begins tomorrow with Switzerland, Italy, and Germany, Denmark. Sunday, England, Slovakia, Spain, Georgia. Monday, we'll bring France, Belgium, and Portugal, Slovenia, while the last two games on Tuesday will be Romania, Netherlands, and Austria, Turkey. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action down at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Nobody out. Top of the ninth inning, second and third for the Yankees, who have expanded their lead to a 7-run advantage. It's 12-5 New York. And on for the Blue Jays is Bowden Francis. 12th game of the year, earned run average, a hair above 5. He goes right on right with Gleyber Torres. First pitch breaking ball, misses up and in, 1-0. Five straight hits for the Yankees to start this inning. 12 runs on 15 hits today. Infield even with the baselines for the Blue Jays. Judge is on third. The 1-0 pitch fouled back, 1-1. On second base right now, Oswaldo Cabrera. So you got decent speed from both the base runners for New York. Francis 1-1. Inside almost hit Torres, who yanks his hands out of the way. 2 balls, 1 strike. Francis in the set at the belt. The 2-1. Swing and a fly ball. Hit weakly out to left field. Camped under it, Davis Schneider makes the catch. Judge tagging from third. Schneider's throw to the plate offline. Cabrera will advance from second to third. It's 13-5 on a sacrifice fly.
Pretty strong throw right there from Davis Schneider.
Threw it over the plate by a couple feet.
I mean, not on target, but pretty strong.
Schneider entered the game midway as well, having to come into the game cold as a pinch hitter in the 7th. But now 4 runs in the frame for the Yankees and still a runner on third, 1 out. Here's Alex Verdugo. Francis pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1, tied him up with a fastball up and in.
And that run on third base is still Tim Mesa's run. Oswaldo Cabrera.
I mentioned earlier that the Yankees had scored their most since June 12th, last time they won a series. Well, now that they've scored 13, you got to go back way further. And the 1-1 pitch is hit on a line to right field, a base hit for Verdugo. In to score Cabrera. It's 14-5 for the Yankees. 5 runs in the inning, and there's still 1 out.
And every single one of those runs was charged to Tim Mesa. No innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 earned runs.
His line is now complete as the base runner belongs to Bowden Francis on first. With 14 runs, the Yankees have scored their 3rd highest total of the year. You have to go back to April 27th and 28th when they scored 15 on back-to-back days against the Brewers. First pitch to DJ LeMahieu is stroked out to deep right. Going back, Barger circles under it, makes the catch, 2 down. Here's Jose Trevino, 2 outs and a runner on first. He's the 9th batter this inning for the Yankees. Francis pitch. Swing and a deep fly ball right center. Barger and Varsho both going back. It's over both of their heads, bouncing into the wall. Verdugo around third, he'll score. Trevino into second with an RBI double. Make it 15-5 Yankees. They've matched their highest run total of the season.
Just a good piece of hitting right there from Trevino. Took that pitch on the outside part of the plate and drilled it into right center. Hate to say it, but this Yankees lineup looks like they're heating up a bit.
For Trevino, in an odd anomaly, despite 8 homers, that's his first double of the season. Here's Jahmai Jones, who started this inning with a bouncing ball off the foot of Tim Mesa that went for a base hit. First pitch in the dirt, 1-0.
Gleyber Torres has 2 hits today. Alex Verdugo has 2 hits.
Had a lot of guys struggling that weren't Judge and Soto coming into this game, but everyone's got it going today. Next pitch inside, 2-0. Yankees with 17 hits on the day. The next run would establish a season high, and they have a runner on second with 2 outs. 2-0 to Jahmai Jones, high and outside, ball 3. 17 hits are third most this year. The 2 days they scored 15 in Milwaukee, they had 18 and 19 hits. .30. Called strike as Jones was taken all the way.
It's also easy to forget that Yusei Kikuchi was absolutely dealing early on in this ballgame.
The Yankees have scored 14 runs from the 6th to the 9th. They scored 1 run in the first 5 innings. 3-1. Called strike 3-2. And it wasn't exactly, a run scored with a lot of thump. There was a borderline pitch for a walk, a broken bat rolling single, and then a good base running play by Judge to avoid a double play, backpedaling before Soto rounded third and scored. 3-2 is hit in the air, shallow center. Varsho started back, sprinting into right center. That's a base hit. Around third and in to score Trevino. It's 16-5 for the Yankees. And Aaron Boone might want to buy a lottery ticket today as that one flares into right center.
Well, that's the kind of luck it's been. Not for the whole game, but
certainly
this inning in particular, there's been a lot of soft contact.
Yeah, I mean, you don't score 16 runs on luck. No way I would say that. But you got to be lucky to be good as well. And it just seems like everything they touch finds open space.
Yeah, Jahmai Jones just got his 3rd hit of the ball game.
And to take nothing away from him, I mean, he hit the one hard off Mesa. The other 2 were not hit very hard at all. And now we're going to get a pitch clock violation on Bowden Francis as Anthony Volpe comes up. So it's 1-0. Volpe is the 11th batter of the 9th inning for the Yankees. They've scored 7 runs in this inning alone. 1-0. Swing and a miss. One pitch fouled back, 1-2. So this is now the most runs the Yankees have scored in a game this year. To do some digging to find the last time in general the Yankees scored 16.
The Yankees have scored 6 runs in the 6th inning and 7 in the 9th inning.
Next pitch is in the dirt, 2-2. Yeah, it's hard to believe that 6-run 6th was not the highest scoring inning of the day. You would have thought for sure. Two outs, runner on first, 16-5 Yankees. 2-2. Swing and a high pop-up, foul territory, first base side. Vladdy chasing it, but it's into the seats. Last time the Yankees scored 16 runs before today, you got to go to June 6th of 2022. They beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 16-0 that day. But they hit 6 homers in that game. They've only homered twice in this one. They have strung together a bunch of hits. 18 hits, to be exact. They're 1 hit off their season high. 2-2 again. And fouled off again.
A 3-run homer from Juan Soto and a 2-run homer from Gleyber Torres.
Both in the 6th. That was when the Yankees took the lead. Soto's home run put them in front 4-3 at the time. And they have been up since. Blue Jays might have left a little bit out there in terms of runs they could have scored, but hard to focus on that now with Toronto down 16-5. Francis is going to step off, reset the clock. And Francis slips off the mound on the 2-2. Lost the baseball. And no clear signal made there. I would have thought certainly that that's a balk.
Well, I don't know how it isn't a balk.
They're just calling it a ball. But he never really, the ball popped out of his hand. They're just going to call it a ball and make it 3-2. Still a runner on first with 2 down. The pitch is hit hard, deep center. Varsho going back, makes the catch. That's the inning. How about 7 runs for the Yankees in the top of the 9th? They're up 16-5. Bottom of the 9th next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between Pizza and inflation. First to the plate, Pizza's big hitter, fixed rate pizza. An extra large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. I dare say, folks, inflation stands no chance against this all-star. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for fixed rate pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
We're 2 men in a truck.ca. We've got lots of men and lots of trucks, so get ready to be moved.
Think 2 men in a truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think 2 men in a truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2 men in a truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
Hey, this is Chris Bassett. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you at Baseball Control. Jays trail the Yankees 16-5 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning at the Rogers Center. Don't forget, we do have Jays Talk this evening. Blair and Barker have the post-game show. They will take your calls. Jeff's down at the Rogers Center. He will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out, and if the text line's any indication, it's going to be a spicy one. Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Jays trail 16-5 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Let's get you back down to the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Shulman and Chris LaRue.
So I'm expecting Ghost Pepper, Carolina Reaper spicy in terms of Blue Jays talk coming up. Definitely stick around for that. Bottom of the 9th inning, Tim Hill, the lefty, is into the game for the Yankees as Clay Holmes was more than told to sit down as that inning went on. Yankees up 11 runs, top of the order for the Blue Jays. Just like the Blue Jays did up in the 9th inning yesterday, substitutions galore for the Yankees. We'll get to those in just a moment, but first, Bo Bichette leading off against the lefty Hill. First pitch, Bichette slams it deep left field. Going back, Verdugo, and he's got it on the track. 1 out. Trent Grisham into the game for the Yankees in center field. Aaron Judge is out. And Ben Rice, who played first base yesterday, will replace Jose Trevino at catcher. They already used Oswaldo Cabrera, and they caught Austin Wells yesterday, so they don't bring him in. First pitch to Spencer Horwitz, misses inside, 1-0. Hill's pitch. Side-arming lefty, hits the middle of the zone, strike 1. Blue Jays led this game 3-1 after 5 innings, but the Yankees exploded both in the 6th and the 9th. 13 combined runs in those 2 innings. 1-1 pitch upstairs, 2-1. Hill kicks and fires. Horwitz hits it on the ground. Right at the shortstop position where the third baseman Cabrera is. He picks it up, throws to first, and the Blue Jays are down to their final out. Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. When Vladdy homered in the 7th inning, the Blue Jays were down 7-5. Justin Turner doubled right after that, and it looked like Toronto might have a shot to pull off a big comeback, but those hopes have gone away as Guerrero bats now and takes strike one with Toronto down 16-5 in the ninth. Good day for Vlad. 2 RBIs, including a solo homer. Takes the next pitch down the middle. Strike 2.
He now has 12 homers.
Numbers starting to climb. 5 in the last 7 games, 4 of the last 5. Next pitch is smoked up the middle. A dive by Volpe. It's into center field. Appreciate the effort of the shortstop. Up 11 runs. Went full stretch up the middle. For Vlad, it's a 2-hit day.
It looked like he landed on his shoulder, too. I'm not sure the Yankees dugout is overly excited about that effort, but if I'm Tim Hill, I'm congratulating the effort for sure.
Yeah, maybe the sentiment better than actually going out there and doing it, but impressive to see from the shortstop. Here's Justin Turner now. No hold on Guerrero at first. 2 outs. The pitch is line foul off to the right, 0-1. Turner checking his bat to see if he broke it. Awkward sound, but it looks like he's cool with the lumber. He'll hit again. Blue Jays picked up their 10th hit with that Guerrero single. 0-1. Swinging a ground ball to short. This should do it. Volpe jogs towards second. Underhand flip. And that's the ball game. The Yankees score 16 runs. 15 of them coming in the 6th inning or later, and they even up this series with a 16-5 win over the Blue Jays.
Well, I know it's hard to fathom this, but there were actually a lot of good things that happened in this ball game. Yusei Kikuchi was brilliant early on in this ball game, giving up 4 earned runs, but before that 6th inning, he was unhittable, throwing that fastball where he wanted it, throwing all the off-speed pitches. I know it's tough to talk about right now because it's hard to fathom the score being 16-5 and Yusei Kikuchi having a great game, but early on in this ball game, he was good. I think it's one of those games where you just turn the page, you forget about today, and you move on to tomorrow.
We will quickly wrap this one up on the other side because we know you have a lot to say coming up on Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker after the game. A 16-5 win for the Yankees. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Bichette powers the ball to left field. Going back, Peralta. It's out of here.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
16-5. The Yankees beat the Blue Jays and not up this series in Toronto. The Yankees scored a season high in runs, and although the Blue Jays score 5 for the 5th game in a row, extending their season-long streak, they do not emerge victorious today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Chris, you had already talked about the start of Yusei Kikuchi. On the other side, Marcus Strowman started for the Yankees. And although they might have left a little bit on the bone, for the most part, the Blue Jays did fairly well against a tough starter.
Yeah, he wasn't great tonight. You could tell early on that he was really nibbling. The fastball didn't have the movement that it did the last time we saw Marcus Strowman. The velocity really was probably maybe even a couple of mile an hour slower than what we saw in his last start against Toronto. But I think the Blue Jays did well against him. He walked 3 guys. They scored 3 runs against him, and they got him out of the ballgame in the 5th inning.
He went 4 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Did not factor into the decision. Kikuchi with his 5+ innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts ended up picking up the loss. Michael Tonkin, who took over for Strowman in the 5th, ends up with the win to go to 3-3. Kikuchi loses to go to 4-8. It really turned in that 6th inning. A broken bat, flare to right field by Jahmai Jones, a bunt single by Anthony Volpe, and then Juan Soto homered the Yankees into the lead. And after that, the Yankees really didn't look back.
No, they didn't. And even in that last inning, there wasn't really many hard-hit balls. But that's baseball. You tip your cap, you move on to the next batter, and you try to make a good pitch. And I know that Tim Meza was making decent pitches there, but if you fall behind 1-0, 2-0, it's almost expected that you have to come back with something, especially in a ball game like this where you're up by 5 or 6 runs. You expect that something will be hittable over the middle of the plate, and Tim Meza unfortunately fell behind a number of hitters in that last inning.
Yeah, every hit of the 5 that he gave up in the 9th was either from behind or even in the count at that point. The Yankees added on 7 runs in the 9th inning to quash. They had 2 on in the 8th to really make it difficult at 9-5, and then 7 more in the 9th to set a new season high with 16 runs scored. They knot up this series, so 2 big dominant wins back and forth after the Blue Jays won 9-2 yesterday, and that sets up an intriguing matchup coming up tomorrow. The Blue Jays, with the loss, go to 37-44. The Yankees 53-31. Lefty Nestor Cortez faces off with righty Chris Bassett tomorrow for a 3:07 first pitch. Pre-game will start locally in Toronto at 2 o'clock, and we'll have Blue Jays talk following the game as well. But the Yankees win today, 16 runs on 18 hits, no errors, 3 left. They went 9 for 12 with runners in scoring position, 5 runs for the Blue Jays, 10 hits, 1 error, 8 left on base. Just under 35,000 turned out for a game that lasted a little bit over 3 hours and ended in a Yankees win. Appreciate you sticking with us throughout. For our technical directors Luke Swadron and Tom Young, our host and producer Sho Ali, and my partner Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Hope you have a great night and continue to stick with us. Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker.
Yankees scoring 6 runs in the 6th inning, 7 runs in the 9th inning, Kevin. Ooh. 9 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Wow. And, 3-1. Through what? 3-1 through 5 innings.
Yep.
And Yusei Kikuchi, looked to be all right. What happened in that 6th inning with a single from Jahmai Jones and then the bunt by Anthony Volpe that just seemed to set everything in motion. Juan Soto just corkscrewed a 3-0 pitch over the right field wall, and the route was on after that.
Yeah, he lost location. I mean, that's what it was. The first 5 innings, the location was good. The crispness of the secondary stuff, the slider, the breaking ball, it was ending up where he wanted it to end up, not down the middle, right? The 6th inning, it was a 9-hole hitter with the 0-0 fastball. Gives him a chance, right? When it's middle like that, it gives him a chance to get a broken bat single. The 0-0 hanging curveball to Volpe on the bunt single. It's easy to bunt those, have it go where you want it to go. Then he missed his location. He missed big with a couple of secondary pitches to Soto. Away, he tried to go away 3-0 with the fastball. He missed into one of the best left-handed hitters in baseball. That's what happens, right? It's the 3rd time through, Jeff, with like a 4th or 5th starter in a rotation. That's what it comes down to, right? It's, you cruise control a couple times through, because of the velocity, because he had good spin on the secondary stuff, because of the velocity elevated to those guys. I mean, that's hard stuff to hit. 3rd time through, right? You've seen it. You know how to lay off of it. You zone him in. You're looking certain location. You get in a hitter's count. He's predictable when he's not throwing as many strikes. Bad things happen to you. So, yeah, it's they had their chances to add a little separation there in the 5th inning with the bases loaded, nobody out, and didn't do it. And that's what happens, right? When you don't do it, you're facing a good team who's been struggling, has the right guy up the right time, runs into one, sort of changes the atmosphere, changes confidence levels for everybody, and then they go up and they have better at-bats.
Yeah, and the Yankees, through the first 10 Yankees to come to the plate, he struck out 6 of them.
And let's say this too: the bullpen for the Blue Jays was atrocious. Yeah, other than Garcia, it was atrocious. Like I think we about come to the end of Tim Mesa. Cabrera, I'm sorry. Yeah. The Tim Mesa thing. Look, we all love Tim Mesa. Tim Mesa's been around forever, but man, alive, like how many more times you got to see a 7 ERA being ran out there? That's, again,
and you made the point. He's pitched He's pitched a lot of innings and this is not to take anything away from Tim Mesa. He's pitched a lot of innings in the AL East.
Absolutely.
And it's not as if he's got a trick pitch. It's not as if he's got overpowering stuff. He's not surprising anybody. He's not fooling anybody. We had Ross Atkins on yesterday, and that's one of the reasons I asked him, why didn't you address the bullpen? Never mind just going out and getting Brendan Little. I mean, why haven't they addressed the bullpen? Yeah. They've basically left John Schneider without a closer for the most part.
Absolutely.
And, we know this team has had offensive issues. We all get all that. We understand that, the bullpen isn't to blame for everything. But, man, this bullpen really lets things get out of hand, and we saw that. And, Nate Pearson's frustrating because he's got to be – because you don't know what you're going to get out of him. You do not know what you're going to get out of him.
Well,
he'd be maddening to manage.
He's a thrower, not a pitcher, right? I mean, when he throws 2 sliders in a row that are non-competitive, you sort of know what's coming after that, right? Yeah. And the high octane velocity really doesn't matter when you know it's coming. You can get it geared up. Your timing is a little bit better. You can catch it. You can sort of beat Nate to the spot, and that's exactly what happened. It's missed spots a lot. It's hitters counts. Again, it gets back to that thrower thing, not a pitcher. So, yeah, and Trevor Richards sort of due for one of these, right? The 7 outings in a row, not giving up a run. And, it's just the error from IKF to sort of lead off that inning. It's, again, it's predictable, right? 3-1 counts. You're somewhat close with your team. You're probably not going to, walk a guy. You probably have a little bit better command, the elevated changeup. Like, he's due for one of those. But, again, that bullpen, man. Sometimes it's a tough watch.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it really does have the potential on any given night to be a tire fire. There's really no other way. There's really no other way to put it. Yeah. George Springer left the game after getting hit by a pitch. Of course, it would have to happen. George Springer's on a bit of a heater right now, and makes sense given the way this year has gone that he'd get hit by a pitch on his left hand. The medical report was that the precautionary imaging was taken for a fracture. It was negative.
Yeah.
So, knock on wood, that's the good news because, again, we've been waiting for the version we've seen of George Springer for the past 4 games for about 3 years. So,
3 years.
3 years, pretty much.
Man.
3 years. I've been waiting for 3 years. Vladdy Jr. hit another home run.
Yeah.
And, 16-5. 16-5, Kevin Barker's the final. Matt in Toronto. In what is going to come as a shock to absolutely everybody, Matt, you're stuck in traffic, leaving the game.
I'm stuck in traffic. I'm with my friends from Pittsburgh who are big Jays fans.
Pittsburgh. Tell them. Seriously, Barker's heard me say this. You may have heard me say this. My favorite underrated road city and my favorite park in baseball, hands down. Hands down.
You know what the worst part is? They're better than us.
Well, yeah, they have a little more promise. I will say that, and yes, right now any team that has Paul Skeens is pretty good.
It's true. It's I believe I hear you guys often say Paul Skeens it.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's just he is my that's my go-to guy right now. Who did we have on the other day? We were talking about what we like about baseball right now, and I mean Paul Skeens is one of the things I really like. Yeah, passing. Paul Skeens is one of the things that to me is a must-watch.
I would like to say, I've been in the city for a long time. I grew up, close to the border, and I was born sort of a Tigers fan. In the last 15 years, I've been in the city. Kind of, seeing the struggles when you could, buy a ticket for, $5 or $10 and you could kind of crawl down into the 100s. and, evolved into a Jays fan. And I would honestly say that, we often hear people call in and say, this is the worst time to be a Jays fan. And I can honestly say that's the truth, because when they were bad, we knew they were going to be bad. But, we've been sold this whole concept of, it's just a process. It's going to be this and that. And I really appreciate the fact that, when a couple of days ago you had Atkins on and you pushed him to the edge. You asked a lot of questions. I don't think we got a whole lot of answers, but you asked fairly about how the perception of the team and, being not a journalist anymore, but listening to people call in, it's tough. It's tough to be a Jays fan right now. And it's tough to be a Toronto sports fan right now. So I would like to posit the fact that I would like a bobblehead of both Blair and Barker, perhaps together. Oh. And that's my vote of confidence this year, and that's the only real hope that I have at this point. And I appreciate the fact that you guys have to day in and day out deal with this terrible, terrible team. And I thank you every day coming in, being fair, being honest, and putting in a hard day's work with all the traffic and the BS. You guys are wonderful. That's very nice of you. It makes being a fan a little bit easier.
That's very nice of you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we do. Don't forget, Barker played winter ball for about 15 years, and I covered the Montreal Expos for 11, nine of which was basically waiting for the team to move. So it's not the bleakest I've seen. But
I played on way worse teams than this.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse.
I'm going to say that I've covered worse teams than this. This team has potential to rival that, just because a lot of the teams I covered didn't have this type of starting pitching and didn't have two players like Bo and Vladdy. And and I can honestly say that I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know if I've covered a team. See, most of those Expos teams exceeded expectations, or you just knew they were going to be crap. And I don't know if I've seen a team. Maybe last year's. To me, last year's team was more frustrating than this year's team.
Yeah, the expectations were higher.
Frustrating.
I
had no expectations of this team going to the World Series.
This is predictable.
This is predictable.
Yeah, it is.
This is
I just think, Jeff, it's very frustrating because we have no idea what they're going to do. No clue. Nope. We had Ross on. We still don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to go down that road. But they're not going to tell you what.
No, they won't.
Do, nor should they.
No, absolutely.
I mean, nor should they. I mean, if they want, they can tell me.
They could tell me too if they wanted to.
A bobblehead would be interesting. Everybody else is a bobblehead. Hazel is a bobblehead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have a bobblehead.
Always the bride.
We've had a better year than some of the guys who've had bobbleheads, let's be honest.
Always the
Sam and Hamilton, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
Hey, guys. First of all, I mean, the offense actually is kind of looking a little better. I mean, Springer, obviously, minus the hit by pitch. Vladdy's hitting the home runs, which is
five games in a row with the minimum of 5 runs. I mean, the offense didn't lose in this game.
Just two things I want to say before, obviously, you get to the next caller. Number one, obviously, it's good to see a home run start to finally fly out of the dome. That's something I've kind of noticed lately. And number two, I love Tim Meza. He's been a great pitcher, but it's time to Old Yeller him.
Appreciate the call.
Yeah, Old Yeller's a little strong.
Old Yeller. Wow, that is a little. I mean, I wouldn't go full Old Yeller on him, but there are people out there, going, "Who the hell is Old Yellow?" No, it's Old Yeller. Ask your parents. Yeah. Hell, you may have to ask your grandparents about that one. Yeah, look, Tim Meza. I mean, I get back to this. I fail. I look at almost every team that's contending right now. With the exception of a team like the Cleveland Guardians, they've all gone out and added arms to their bullpen. It's amazing how many teams have had to go out and do that. And for whatever reason, this organization hasn't been able to do that. And I tend to think, Kevin, this gets back to what we've talked about. They've done a mediocre job of adding depth pitchers to this organization now for 2 years. Every spring training we hear, they finally got some depth at AAA. This looks really good. And every year around this time, you look at the so-called real good depth they have in AAA, and a couple of them have been released.
Yeah.
So that is an issue. They
you know as well as I do, they put a lot on Pete Walker's plate. I mean, let's not lie about it. Like they think he's just supposed to take any pitcher and turn him into the greatest pitcher in the American League, which is not realistic a lot of the times. Hey, again, I think the league's performance driven. When your ERA is pushing 7, and it's looked the way it's looked with Tim, like he's had a good run with the Blue Jays. Can't lie about that, but I'm with you. The American League East and the consistency of just knowing how to go up and face him, and when he's elevating the slider the way he does, he's not locating the sinker, and it's not consistently at the same velocity all the time.
I mean, he's batting practice, basically.
That's a bit strong, but
really?
he is. Yeah,
that's a bit. Really?
Bit strong.
I mean, look, tonight it's not like they tore the cover off the ball
some bad
tonight.
Luck there. Yeah,
he had some bad luck, but
bad locations too, though.
Looked like batting practice.
Well, you're a bit strong.
Well,
yeah, be nice.
How many guys in a row reached? It was a lot. But it gets back to what we said. Tim Mays has pitched a lot of baseball for this team. He's been a good soldier.
He has.
But it's I wouldn't old yeller him.
I mean,
but it is. I'm going to remember that all night. Yeah, it is. It'd be nice to see some new arms in here. It'd be nice to see some new arms in here. I think we're all on the same page with that. 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590. The teams, the Yankees, the Jays, they've got 2 games left against each other. The Yankees, 16-5 winners tonight. They go 9 for 12 with runners in scoring position. They had 6 dudes with multi-hit games. This was the team that came into the game with a bunch of guys. I'm looking at them. 227, 215, 245, 178, 247, 192. Those are their batting averages. Yes, the Yankees are hurt, but they had some guys tonight who had their best games of the season in the bottom of the order for the Yankees. And what the heck, DJ LeMahieu even got an extra base hit. So There you go. Guy and Maple, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
I like the idea of the bobblehead, but I could just picture something like you and Blair at your desk, and then maybe Hazel and Vladdy pouring the Gatorade on you guys while they're bobbling. So something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little concerned about the bobblehead notion.
But to that last caller's point, I think it was the last caller. I had watched on YouTube the interview you gave with Ross Atkins, and I thought you guys did a really, really good job in conducting that interview. You didn't treat them very lightly. Sometimes you get these guys, they ask the easy questions, and you guys I know you guys had to be professional, and you could see, I could see you guys talking to each other, ask this question, ask that question. I thought for all those people who haven't seen it, I really encourage you to go to YouTube and watch it, because the questions were fantastic, really well done. And I just thought he danced around a lot of the answers like he always does, like a Justin Trudeau, and, hopefully...
Boy, there are some similarities, aren't there?
Aren't there? For real. But I guess my comment on the game was, it is nice to see the hitting's coming along, but I really think Meza and Pearson maybe need to get sent down and maybe work on what they need to. Meza was he was unbelievable. He was one of the top relievers in baseball, as far as I'm concerned, lefties in the last couple of seasons, and I don't know what has happened to him, and I think maybe he just needs to work on something, maybe bring him into the lab, figure out what's wrong with him. And same with Pearson. He's got this great arm, but he seems like he gives up a home run every other game, and it's really disappointing to see that these guys have just went from great prospect and great reliever to pretty much mediocre relievers. And we talk a lot about the offense being really bad, but it really was the relievers that cost us this game today. And I thought the home plate umpire was terrible. I thought there was 2 different strike zones, and I don't know if you guys can pull up stats on how many, strikes were balls, and you guys usually have some sort of stat on that. But anyways, I just want to comment more on the YouTube thing, and great job, guys.
I appreciate it, Guy. Thank you very much. We've had our say about Tim Mays and Nate Pearson. I mean, I will say this. I think the organization realizes now that Nate Pearson is just a guy. I don't think they look at him as a prospect by any side. I don't think they looked at him as a prospect last year either, to be honest. But here's the thing with Nate Pearson, and we've talked about this. They got a lot of work to do in the bullpen next year. They're losing a lot of guys. We're talking. I think Trevor Richards a free agent. He's got. I don't know if he's a free agent, but they're definitely going to lose Garcia. They're kind of filling it in right now. I think you have to stick with Nate Pearson and see what you get over the course of an entire season from him, because at this point, I'm not expecting him to be a closer. I'm not even expecting him to be a decent eighth inning guy. I'm just expecting him to be an arm in the bullpen. I'm going to need arms in the bullpen next year. So, I want to see Nate have a run for the whole year at the major league level and see what you got.
Yeah, Trevor Richards is a free agent next year. Look, I think it's
after this year.
Yeah, 2025 is a free agent.
So he's here for another year.
No, he's a free agent
he's
next
after.
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
After this year, he's a free agent. Yeah. Look, I think sometimes it's like that. When listening to Ross speak the last couple of days, I think it's about the organization's basically checked every box. With Meza and Pearson, I think that's where it's at. Like when you check all the boxes, you've given them all the information, you've made all the adjustments you can possibly make. You've thrown the slider more, it's tunneling longer, he's throwing it harder, he's added the breaking ball. You made him a bullpen arm. You're no longer trying to get him to start. Like, what else is there, Jeff? Like, you send him down to do what? Like, it's either the slider's good or it's not. The location of the fastball's good or it's not. Velocity anymore is not a thing. Like, you got to locate velocity. That's a thing. And when you don't and you're predictable like he was tonight, I love Guy. Guy is a very smart caller, and I think he was trying to be nice to those two guys by saying, send them down, put them in a lab, try and figure them out. I just think, for me anyway, the organization's checked all the boxes. And occasionally when you've done that, it's time to move on.
Yeah, they are what they are, as far as I'm concerned.
But they don't have any other options. Who else they got?
No.
And
the thing with Nate Pearson is, I know that people keep thinking, man, today's the day we're going to see 101. We're going to see 101 pitches.
His dad said 110 on our show once, I think.
Whatever.
That's what he said.
And that Nate Pearson no longer lives here. He just doesn't. And to me, Nate Pearson is a guy. That's it. That's all. If you can find a better guy than Nate Pearson, that's fine. But I don't think there's anything hidden in there. I watch Genesis Cabrera pitch, and I think there might be something in there. But I don't get that with Nate Pearson. I don't know how you feel, Kevin, but I watch Cabrera, and he's erratic, but I watch him at times against really good hitters.
Yeah.
And I come away thinking, man, there's something there.
Well, he looked like Tim Mays a couple of like 2 or 3 years ago because a lot of hitters haven't seen Cabrera.
It's a little velo, more velo.
A little extra gear, right? He calls that thing a cutter. It ain't a cutter. That's a slider. But look, I think that's the unknown, right? You can throw him against hitters who haven't seen him a lot. He's got the extra little gear. He's got the herky-jerky motion. Mm-hmm. He's hard to pick up. He's got a little attitude. He ain't afraid to show you up if he punches you out.
Nope.
Like that, you got to have a little that in the American League East. So, again, no disrespect to any of these dudes, but, man, like –
I'll tell you what.
They're at the point now where they got to figure this out. They got to figure out who's a part of the future. And in my mind, it ain't Meza and Pearson.
Yeah,
that's just
and the Yankees scored 16 runs tonight. They had 18 hits.
Damn.
The only pitcher I saw move anybody off the plate tonight for the Blue Jays was Cabrera. The only guy I saw move.
I don't think he did that on purpose.
Well, no.
It's okay.
But I'm saying that's fine. That's fine.
Effectively wild, what you call that.
That's fine. I wanted to see that. You know, I mean, how many Jays have been hitting this series? I wouldn't mind somebody. Frankly, I wouldn't mind somebody dusting a Yankee right now.
Yeah, we're 8 games under 500. Announce your presence with authority, Jeff.
416-870-0 after giving up 16 runs. 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590. We'll take a break here from the skipper. Go back to the phone lines. It's Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Not tomorrow, not someday. The home improvements begin today. It's game on with Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, landscape till your property is beautiful. Don't pay for 12 months on the Timber Mart deferred payment program. Your locally owned, completely Canadian hub of building and renovation expertise. Get your Timber Mart credit card at participating locations and pay later. 12 months later. Conditions apply. Ask in store for details or apply at timbermart.ca.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, live from the showdown between pizza and inflation. First to the plate, with over 2 million sold, it's Fixed Rate Pizza, a hot and fresh extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $17.99 until the end of 2024. Here's the delivery. And inflation strikes out. That's a swing and a drive for Fixed Rate Pizza. Lock in yours today.
Order pizza.ca.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. Sunday. So many things to do. You can bring your crew and even mom and dad too.
Sundays are for Junior Jays, and with all kinds of cool new games and activities in the exciting outfield district areas, there's no end to the family fun you'll have.
If you're feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior Jays Sunday.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle.
Did you know your vehicle rusts faster in warm weather? Protect your vehicle today. For a special summer offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Bring it in, Canada. When it comes to small business, Desjardins is a big fan. And not just the hop-on-the-bandwagon fan. We're the in-it-for-the-long-haul fan. The fan that's been there from the start. That's why Desjardins awarded 150 entrepreneurs with Good Spark grants worth $20,000 each. Because like any fan, there's nothing we love more than celebrating a goal!
See how Desjardins is cheering on small business at goodsparkgrants.ca.
By pitch. Preliminary imaging was negative for a fracture, so basically he'll be day to day essentially, and we'll have to play from there.
Yeah, it's his bottom hand, it's his steering wheel. Like that's a big deal, right? Yeah. When that part of your hand gets hit, it takes a little while. So I don't want to say I'd be shocked if he plays tomorrow, but I'd be surprised. Like they're going to be careful with it because he's been hot. But I want to touch on the Vladdy thing at first base with the runner coming around third. I know that
was fourth inning, 1 out, 2 on. Soto on second, Judge at first, and J.D. Davis hits a ball to Vladdy.
No, J.D. Davis hits the ball to Horowitz. Horowitz comes in to catch the big hop, forces Judge on his way back to first. That's what you're supposed to do, right? That's 101 defensive baseball. Is get him going back as hard as you can. You get the out at first base. The problem is the runner coming around third. I know. Think about it as the runner coming around third. I want to continue to shuffle my feet, and if I see the guy with the ball lollygagging, not running the guy as hard as he can run him, I'm going to continue to shuffle. It's going to make it easier for me to read my move to home plate, right? But if I see that guy when I come around third, I've been held up, see that guy, the defender with the baseball, running the guy as hard as he could possibly run, I get big-eyed, I get flat-footed, I no longer shuffle my feet. They get the out instead of the run scoring. So everything worked out the way it was supposed to work. Vladdy needs to be running the guy back with controlled aggression. Go as hard as you can go. Get him running towards second base. Then if Soto goes, you can stop, set your feet, use the cannon you got, make an accurate throw instead of basically throwing across your body because you were lollygagging. That's basically what it is rundowns are you got to want to do them. You get the ball, you run the dude as hard as you can run him in the direction that you want him to go. Vladdy didn't do that. You don't get an out. You don't get the guy at home. It's a learning experience for every kid that's watching that. When in doubt, get the ball, show it to him, run him as hard as you can run him. 10 times out of 10, you'll get him out that way. And it just seems like, again, Jeff, with the bullpen that they have, every little play like that matters till no end just because they give up a bunch of homers and they were facing the meat of the order. So
Vladdy was also involved in the play at the plate on that wild pitch.
That's just not a good play. Like that's, you're giving Varsho an opportunity. I mean, Varsho's struggling, boy. I mean, he just right now couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, but you give him a good opportunity to have a productive at bat without getting a hit, right? And again, it gets back to that. When your feet stop moving at third, that means you have doubt on what you're seeing. Stop. There's less than 2 outs. Go back. Give the guy at the plate an opportunity to drive you in. Again, it's baseball 101. John Snyder comes on our show all the time, Jeff, and talks about add-on runs. It can't be the third base coach telling you what to not do and what to do. You got to make up your own mind. And when in doubt, freeze, go back. It's less than 2 outs.
Yep. Anyhow, that is it for tonight. 16-5, the New York Yankees have beaten the Toronto Blue Jays. The teams have split the first 2 games of the series. There's 2 more games left ahead of a Canada Day game between the Houston Astros and the Blue Jays. Going to be a funky little game tomorrow. Nestor Cortez against Chris Bassett. There's going to be a lot going on. There'll be some dancing. There'll be some magic. There'll be some playing around with the pitch clock. There'll be some delayed. It'll be fun.
Yeah, hopefully Chris has got the variance between the curveball and the fastball speeds. Yeah. I mean, that's a big deal, right? You got to have that change. You got to be having the elevated movement. He has that. He'll give him a chance. Normally he does.
Thank you for listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Midland and Sturgeon Falls. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com, Canada's #1 rust protection.
Calling this game? It's because I get a chance to bring some joy into people's lives.
Anything can happen on a baseball field.
We've got a new game!
It's perfectly unscripted theater.
Everybody on their feet! Because you never know what you're going to see on a given day.
It is bedlam at the bank as Bryce Harper has put the Phillies on top!
There's just something about baseball on the radio.
Something about the way wood hits leather.
A swing and a drive to deep left center!
The way leather hits dirt.
And he made the play!
The way a deep fly ball sounds like it's about to change history.
High fly ball to center field. It's hit pretty well toward the wall.
Until the cleats hit the grass, hit the crushed brick, and then nothing but sky and a silent crowd.
That ball's high.
Until leather hits leather and 40,000 fans lose their collective minds.
In a perfect symphony of chaos.
He jumped up on top of the wall, balanced himself, and caught it.
The way nothing triumphs a perfectly honest call.
The way the right voice can make a moment live forever.
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Outsiders may think this is just two teams.
A ball, a bat, and a microphone, but no.
For over 100 years, this has been the soundtrack of the American pastime.
He struck him out looking. It's over. It's over. The Rangers have won the World Series.
The soundtrack of summer. This is Major League Baseball on the radio.
Right now on Sirius XM.
All rise. Coming in 5.
Get ready to play.
4.
Get up! Get up!
3.
Can you believe it? Put your seatbelt on.
Wow.
Talk about the game and all the stories on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89 and the Sirius XM app.
76 and Internet 866, Nationals on Internet 869. 7:05 p.m. Baltimore Orioles taking the Texas Rangers. Orioles on Sirius XM channels 89, Internet 842, Rangers on Internet 867, Spanish feed on Internet 870. 7:07 p.m. Toronto Blue Jays taking the New York Yankees. Blue Jays on Sirius 210, XM 177 and Internet 868, Yankees on Internet 858. 7:10 p.m. Boston Red Sox taking the San Diego Padres. Red Sox on Sirius 211, XM 178 and Internet 843, Padres on Internet 862. 7:10 p.m. Chicago White Sox face the Colorado Rockies. White Sox on Sirius 106, XM 179 and Internet 845, Rockies on Internet 848. 7:10 p.m. New York Mets taking the Houston Astros. Mets on Sirius 119, XM 180 and Internet 857, Astros on Internet 850. 7:20 p.m. Atlanta Braves taking the Pittsburgh Pirates. Braves on Sirius 137, XM 181 and Internet 841, Pirates on Internet 861.
The PGA Tour comes to life on SiriusXM. It's your destination for everything on the tour. Hear live hole-by-hole coverage and expert analysis. PGA Tour Radio, SiriusXM 92.
Former teammate of Willie Mays, Hal Lanier, stopped by MLB Network Radio to honor the Say Hey Kids impact that was left both on and off the field for generations to come.
Well, Willie tried to help everybody. When I came up in '64, he took me under his wings, and I was probably a little bit more different from most players, but again, he helped all the young players that ever came up. You're talking Bobby Bonds, you're talking Kenny Henderson, so many, players that played with Willie also in the area that I was there. It was a tough time for Willie on the road, I think, because he wasn't like the rest of us that go out for dinner and not be bothered, not be recognized. If Willie always had to stay in his suite a lot, most times in every city that he went to, maybe exception of New York. He had some friends that he, went for dinner with and everything. But again, I spent so much time with Willie on the road in his suite, having dinner, just talking after a game, because he couldn't go out like the rest of us. And that's one thing that I felt, sorry for Willie because he couldn't do that. The only other guy that I saw that couldn't do that was Yogi Berra also. Willie treated everyone fairly.
SiriusXM has soccer covered end to end. SiriusXM FC. Hear live play-by-play and talk shows hosted by legends of the game. It's SiriusXM FC on Channel 157.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM MLB schedule for Friday, June the 28th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In Major League Baseball, 6:20 p.m., Philadelphia Phillies take on the Miami Marlins. Phillies on Sirius 208, XM 175 and Internet 860, Marlins on Internet 854. 6:50 p.m., Tampa Bay Rays take on the Washington Nationals. Rays on